All right, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to ASAP Afternoon Blitz, Monday, April 17th, 2023. I'm Chris Gonzalez, joined by Jay McLovin. How's it going, Jay?
Hey, it is well. It is well. But took a little sabbatical for about a week. Went down to Houston, got my land, got my house, everything in order. Life is good. I do want to play just a quick game if we can, Gonzo. And I'm gonna play it with you because I know Frankie probably already knows it. He's like I'm just gonna say a quotation, and then I want you to tell me who said it. Get my name out your motherfucking mouth. Russell Westbrook to a Phoenix Suns fan as he's walking through the clubhouse on his way to the dressing room. And he says it to the fan, and the fan says, Russell, be a man, Westbrook. It was amazing. Oh, Russell.
Yeah, and we're also joined by Frankie. How's it going, Frankie? Frankie Lake Show it is today, it looks like.
Yeah, you introduced me right. Do it again. Introduce me right. And do it properly. Do it respectfully. Do it again. Take two.
We're joined by Frankie Lake Show.
Nah, that's not how you do it. That's not, you messed up, Chris. You messed. Jay, can you properly introduce me the way it's supposed to be done? Get the reins and show Chris how it's done. Please, take three.
I would like to introduce the maestro of success, the winner of last night's game against the Phoenix Suns. It is not the one. It is not the only.
Wrong team. The Memphis Grizzlies.
Take three.
Oh my God.
All right, hold on. I got it. Ladies and gentlemen, can I introduce to you a man who needs no introduction, a man who is used to success, a man who has never known defeat? I give to you the purple and gold, the one and only Frankie Lake Show.
Yes, thank you. That is the proper introduction that we deserve. And bow down to the king, Austin Reeves. Y'all guys thought I was going to say LeBron James. No. Bow down to the king, Austin Reeves, because my man balled out yesterday and he got a defeat over the Memphis Grizzlies. I couldn't be more excited today. Oh, man. What a time to be alive, right? You start off the season 2-10, you make the play-in, then you make the playoffs, and you get game one over the Memphis Grizzlies after everybody was doubting us and saying that it was probably going to be a sweep or probably say Memphis in 5 or 6 or whatever like that. Nah. Not this
I said
time
7.
around.
I said 6 to 7.
It don't matter. What did I say in your comment? Lakers in 4. The Brooms.
You did say that. Have your moment. Go ahead. Have your moment.
Oh man, I got my moment, baby. Matter of fact, probably we both got our moment. You got the Celtics who made the Atlanta Hawks look like a high school basketball team that was ready to become a college team, and then you got the Lakers just out showing Memphis. Oh, what a weekend of playoff basketball! What up, Pride?
Dog, I never laughed so hard in my entire life, dog. I had somebody say, "Yo, Atlanta's dangerous." I say, "Yeah, dangerous to themselves." I'm like, "Yo, what are you watching?" I'm watching this game. I'm seeing Trae Young act like he's And here's the thing, bro. We gotta have a conversation. Can we finally admit that Trae Young ain't a superstar?
Yes.
I think can we really that all year?
No. I think we were saying that at the beginning of this year. We were talking about trades.
I'm saying from the beginning. He's never been a superstar. The only reason why people called him a superstar was because he got traded for Luka. And everyone knew Luka was going to be a super duper star because of what he was doing overseas. That's the only reason why some people were tricked into thinking Trae Young was a superstar. He could be a solid
New York Knicks.
Congratulations, he has one playoff series. What are we doing here?
That's what I'm saying. That's the only reason people are looking at him for what he did in that one series against the Knicks.
Against the Knicks, who at that year,
the freaking
if they played anybody in the first round, they were getting bounced. You ever get bounced in the first round? And no one's ready for that conversation. But like, I mean, yeah, he was a cute villain. You know what I mean? Like, cool. But I mean, you see him, bro. I got Marcus Smart, defensive player of the year, talking about shoot it. Turn his back on Trae Young. Trae Young's like, okay, I'll shoot it. Misses it, and then looks at it. The part that had me weak. He shoots it, bricks it, and he's looking at Clint Capella like, what are you doing? That's the part to me that was hilarious, bro. We about to destroy this franchise. Bleep this franchise. They garbage. They doo-doo. You feel me? We are the reason that they about to trade Trae Young, DeJounte Murray, and Clint Capella. As soon as we finish with them, bro, we sweeping them.
Well, they got rid of the coach thinking that was going to be the salvation of the team, and obviously it wasn't.
Nah, bro. Nate McMillan saw the writing on the wall. He saw the
writing.
I think he
did. I think he did.
He said, now the front office was like, all right, Nate, you got to lead us to the promised land. He said, with this? Oh, yeah, hand me my papers. I'll quit. Hand me my papers. We can part ways amicably. I'm sure. Now Quinn Snyder somehow looks worse, bro. He looked like a mafia boss about to clip the whole team, bro. He's sick of it. Dirty sick of it. Nah, during the game, this man said something stupid. He was like, yeah, I like the shots we're getting. I'm like, shots we're getting with like 8 hands in your face? What are you doing here, friend? I'm like, what are we doing here? Golly, bro.
We had a very pedestrian playoff experience with the Utah Jazz. I mean, what was the Atlanta Hawks thinking he was going to do for them?
I mean, honestly, I just think Quinn Snyder really was in there as a fresh pair of eyes to look at the situation and be like, all right, this is who I think you should keep. This is who I think you should let go, and then go from there.
And he did have a situation where Pride, you're going in and out right now, Pride. Yeah, Pride's going in and out right now. But Jay, to get to what you were saying, Quinn Snyder when he was at Utah, he had a totally different, complete team. You had Donovan Mitchell, you had Rudy Gobert. You had all these other star caliber players. So of course you're gonna have success with that franchise. But now you're in Atlanta with not that same type of caliber players. I don't think I think what he did was just to go there, ride out this year, do whatever, and then try and start fresh next year probably. But being a comparison for coaching when he was at Utah, now with Atlanta, is totally two different franchises.
Can you hear me a little better?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, small minor emergency. I apologize. What were you saying, Frankie? I'm sorry.
No, I just said that it was two different franchise comparison. I mean, you got him in his time at Utah where he had Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert, but now over in Atlanta, I mean, yeah, you got this dude Ice Trae. And you got Clint Capella, but like Price said, we're all starting to look at Trae Young as that guy. Like, man, people had high hopes for you. Now they're looking at the real Trae Young not being what he was. I mean, we're not going to put this on the coach. I mean, the man literally just got there like a couple months ago, maybe 2-3 months ago and stuff like that. I feel like he's coming to just finish riding out this year. He didn't know he was going to be in the playoffs. We didn't know the Hawks were going to be in the playoffs. They had to be in the play-in to get to the playoffs. So I feel like he's just riding out the rest of this year. By next year, he's going to try and do something totally different and help revamp this Atlanta Hawks team. Probably not, depending on, what they do in the offseason. But these are two different franchises for Dan.
Yeah, you can't really hold Quinn Snyder at this point reliable because, like you said, he's only been there a hot minute. He really hasn't had a whole lot of time to get to know his players or mess with the rotations, or nobody has. So, yeah, you really got to – I give Quinn Snyder a break. But however, in a comma, I will say Quinn Snyder's career, like I said, going back to Gobert and Donovan Mitchell, you see what Donovan Mitchell's doing over with the Cleveland Cavaliers now. Quinn Snyder, I don't know, man. He's a guy that can get you the playoffs. You're one. I don't know if he's really all that special, but they brought him into, I guess, Atlanta. I get the whole fresh eyes thing, and again, we'll see what happens next year once he puts his, I guess, stamp on the team and things like that, and then we can really look at Quinn Snyder for what Quinn Snyder is. However, in the combo, we know what Trae Young is, to quote, or to go along with what you and Pride are saying. The guy's still there. They still suck. They're still going to be a first-round exit. So you got rid of the coach. Okay, great. Who's next? I think Trae Young's got to be next. I think maybe you trade him, see what you can get for him in terms of draft picks, and then maybe you start over again. Or, maybe Quinn Snyder, if he feels like he can develop Trae Young more than what he is. I don't know. I guess we'll find that out next year. But I do agree with you, and I agree with Pride, that Trae Young is not the best guy in the league. He's certainly not a superstar. He may just be an average star at best.
And that's not bad. It's okay to just be a star. That's not fun. That's okay, right? Just don't feed me that this kid is just like I was always against it. When people told me, oh yeah, bro, he's gonna be like Steph. I'm like, first of all, the only thing he does it like Steph is shoot the ball. Right, he doesn't hit it at the same clip. Right, the efficiency is not there. But on top of that, the off-ball movement that Steph, in essence, is really starting to legitimately pioneer like that. This kid doesn't do. Like, have you ever seen Trae Young really off the ball? Like, he doesn't know what to do. He's kind of useless without the ball, if we're gonna be honest. Yeah. He doesn't really run around. He doesn't really call for screens and does that off-ball stuff. So I never really understood the Steph Curry comparison, but it don't even matter, bro. Me, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, we was out here, we was smoking, we was celebrating. Because it's like, yo, what's easier, like, you know how in football you got a bye week, right? We're like, yo, what's easier than a bye week? Playing Atlanta 4 times. And we was just smoking, just chilling, bro. We was smoking cigars, bro. The cigars that we had prepped for the championship game, we smoked them now. Because we was just bored. We was like, man, I was like, man, this is good stuff right here, bro. So, and then afterwards,
would you consider Trae Young to be more of a rock man or a Robin that needs a Batman? And the Yankees haven't found that yet.
Honestly, I think he's Alfred. I don't think you can really. I'm not even trying to be rude or nothing.
No, I got you. I got what you're saying. No,
you can win. I don't think you can win with a kid who shoots the ball that inefficiently and then brings nothing else to the table. And don't tell me, oh my God, his passing is so great. His passing is really not that great. He's got decent passing, but only uses it when he's put in a position where he has no other choice. Like if Quinn Snyder tells him, if you shoot 1 more 3, I'm pulling you, then he'll pass the ball. But even then, his passing selection is horrible. Because if we want to make fun of Russ turning the ball over, you know who's worse? Trae Young. Trae Young is even worse when it comes to turning the ball over. So it's really a situation where, honestly, I think there should be a situation where you have a number 1 guy, then the Batman, or then the Robin, and then Trae Young can just be in there just so he can fit his way in the picture, so that way they can pretend they got a big 3. That's what he is. He's like the third guy so that's just there.
Yeah, so he's not Alfred. You're basically calling him Commissioner Gordon. I got you. He's the guy that runs around with the gun. He's breaking up again.
I thought he would be more. I don't think he'd be more the guy that changes Alfred's depends when he needs them changed.
Oh man, what a time to be alive! What a time to be alive, man.
By the way, hey, can I say real quick? I just want to do a shout out to Stat Guy since he joined us. Yo, man, I got a glimpse of these Rangers, man, and they're looking pretty nasty.
Oh, so wait, now you're hopping on board?
No. I'm always an Astros fan. You little ball-headed bastard. But
it's amazing what hiring a competent manager can do for you.
I'm just saying that your observation of the Rangers was a pretty good one.
It's amazing what happens when you hire a competent manager and actually give yourself a pitching staff.
No, the hell with that. It's that guy. No, you take that. You take what he's saying. You take it in. Take it in, Stat Guy. Because you try to tell this man before the season started when this man was saying Houston Astros going to do it again. And
hey, listen. You know what, though? Hey, we try to tell you that Toronto's the real deal, and where are they sitting right now? Toronto looking pretty happy right now.
Toronto's got the same record as the Yankees.
By the way, I was saying that Toronto was going to be the team to come out of that division. Toronto's looking pretty nasty right now.
Toronto's got the same record as the Yankees, Jay. If anything, you should be mentioning.
No, I'm tracking that. I'm tracking that.
You should be mentioning.
I'm just saying. Hey, watch this. Toronto will take that division.
But let me say this because I was absolutely 100% correct. I was 100% correct Tampa Bay had 3 series of whack teams, and they went 13-0.
Oh yeah,
So,
absolutely.
Once
Absolutely.
Jay, and I give you props for this, Jay, because and I do agree. I've been agreeing with you about Toronto as well, because it's always Toronto or it's always Tampa that gives the Yankees challenge. Once Tampa Bay had to go to Toronto and face an actual good team, they lose 2 games. They even the series with Toronto and they go 2-2. But it proved my point that Toronto only won because they played mediocre teams.
But I think, frankly, though, you do have to give them a little bit of respect, because even 13 games against anybody, look, you're going to have that one down game. Everybody has a down game. Every time, everybody has a fuck up moment, right? To go 13 straight games of wins, even though they are, yes, a little bit, there are under 5, that's still pretty impressive. I don't care who you are. I mean, yes, will they probably not fare as well, as they play the tougher? Of course not. But still, 13-game winning streak, which hasn't been done since 1900, even if it is sub 500, that's still pretty impressive, because you got to take in consideration that you always have that one game that just throws you off.
No.
But are you guys even surprised though that Toronto is where they are? Because you look at how Toronto finished the season last year compared to how they started. The big reason why they got off to such a bad start last year was because their starting pitching wasn't matching up to how good that offense could be. Once their starting pitching came around after June 1st last year, Toronto had the second best record in the American League behind Houston. So it's not a surprise that they're in the position they are, as long as they can get that starting pitching to keep up with the offense.
That's a good point. Yeah, I think Toronto's a good one this year, man, for sure. Obviously, Texas. Who also surprised me is the Angels. Even the Angels have come out, looking better than they did last year.
We got the Angels.
Even Seattle's making a reemergence now. I mean,
Jay, let me say this right now. We got Toronto, or we got LA Angels starting tomorrow in a 3-game set, and we're gonna smoke them just for you. We're gonna smoke these guys.
I hope you do.
You better get some wins, because we're gonna smoke the Angels.
That's who I need you to smoke. I need you to smoke the Angels and the damn Rangers, okay? But again, you're gonna have your own damn problem. You got to worry about Giancarlo Stanton. He's back on the damn 10-day IL with that damn hamstring issue. What's up with that?
I care. Nothing's new with Giancarlo Stanton. It was just a matter of time of me sitting here saying, "Well, there it goes." I was waiting. I was waiting for this moment. I really was. I'm like, well, once I heard the news on Giancarlo, I'm just like, well, nothing's new. Nothing is new.
Yeah.
It was basically a timeline of when it was going to happen. We were going to see it. We just didn't know when. It was either going to be now.
What's going on with these hamstrings, though? Because this has been an ongoing thing now for like the last 2 to 3 years. Is this damn hamstring? Is he not getting enough potassium? I mean, what's going on over there?
No, the man is just old.
He's old, and there's another reason for it. The guy's played designated hitter for the last 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he goes and bats, and then he sits down in the dugout for another hour before he gets another plate appearance. He's not out in the outfield stretching. He's not doing anything sitting in the dugout, but just sitting there.
Can I recommend that he go down into the clubhouse in between innings and get on the damn treadmill?
If you remember when he was with Miami, the guy barely ever got hurt when he was with Miami, besides when he took the pitch out the face. And that's because he was playing left field when he was in Miami and was actually out on the field stretching and doing things to keep himself in baseball shape. Since he got to New York, he's primarily played designated hitter and has done.
How long did David Ortiz do that job? David Ortiz was a permanent fixture at designator, and that dude was way out of shape. Look, that dude couldn't run a base to save his life unless he hit a home run.
Listen. When he first got to New York, the man was playing right field, or he was playing right field all the time.
Yeah,
all the time until he got hurt. Once he got hurt, that's when he missed 70 something games or over 100 games. Then the next year he missed basically the entire season. Then he comes back. There's no other choice for him but to be a designated hitter, because they didn't want to put him back on the outfield, because what if something happens? But then again, to get to Dustin's point, is also correct. You keep having him as your designated hitter and not having him on the field and running to condition himself and anything like that. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna tweak him even more.
You literally could use him as a DH 4 or 5 days a week and put him in left field 1 day a week, or put him in right field 1 day a week, just to keep his legs in a position where you don't have to worry about it.
And they were doing that, Dustin. They really were. There was games where you'll see Giancarlo Stanton playing right field, Oswaldo Cabrera playing left, and you got Aaron Judge in center. So there was games and there was like one game out of a week where he would play in right field. The rest of the games he would be DHing. But what happened to him on injuring himself was he thought he got a home run. He didn't get a home run. So the man starts running so hard and then notices that he didn't get a home run. So the man had to quickly do a stop, and that's where he pulled his hamstring. But ain't nothing new with that guy. There's nothing new with him.
I just want to say one thing. I don't know what insurance company out there is insuring my Q's, but if y'all ever catch this show, I bet you his rates are going to go up.
State Farm.
State Farm.
State Farm. State Farm. What's in your wallet?
No, that's Capital One.
Oh, that's right. It is Capital One.
Oh man.
Hey, you guys. How you guys doing?
I just want to say, Rob Scott.
Frankie.
But Rob Scott, I love how in your picture you have your arm up as if you're in the Million Man March movement.
That was taken on Sunday. That picture he told me it was taken on Sunday after he watched the Lakers go on and beat the Memphis Grizzlies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, Rob, so tell me, I just want to know, what are your feelings now with Golden State taking the first loss in Sacramento?
Oh, I just ran over.
I was a little surprised, but kind of not, because they haven't been good on the road all year. But at the same time, Steph needed somebody to go along on the ride with him. I mean, Wiggins showed up a little bit in the first half, completely disappeared in the second half. Clay was off the whole game. So,
crazy, bro.
Steph Curry, the Warriors are going to be just fine. But I will say, I posted on my Facebook earlier, if they don't bring that championship pedigree, they in trouble, because De'Aaron Fox is here.
Oh, yeah.
I picked Golden State to win the championship when the season started, but I think they're in serious trouble against Sacramento. And the reason why I say that is Mike Brown is the head coach. He knows Golden State better than anybody in that Western Conference. He was the assistant under Steve Kerr. He knows exactly what Golden State does well. He knows exactly what Golden State doesn't do well, and he can exploit Golden State.
What does Golden State not do well?
They don't win well. What Rob said, they don't play well on the road this year, which they haven't. And if you can get in Stephen Curry's head, which not many teams can, there has been teams that have gotten in Stephen Curry's head where he does start to force a lot of bad shots. Granted, Curry doesn't really have what you consider a bad shot, but he does have moments where he does take bad shots and forces things.
Damn,
like
Dustin,
that last shot.
I like your haircut, Dustin.
And the other thing is, I think right now with Mike Brown, he's going to make Curry beat them and take everybody else out of the game if he has to.
All I know is Rob Scott said that Clay had an off night, and if 21's an off night, kill me.
It's not a Clay night. Okay, does that sound better?
That's what I'm saying, though. I think Mike Brown is literally going to take everybody else out and force Curry to beat them, because he knows that if everybody else can start playing their typical game, like if Clay is dropping his 24-25, if Wiggins is giving you his 18-20, and if everybody's doing what they're supposed to do, that's what Golden State is at their best. So if Mike Brown can take 3 of those 4 other guys out of the equation and force Curry to do more than what he already does, Golden State's going to be in trouble. And I'm not going to be surprised to see Sacramento win this series in 6 games.
Dustin, can I ask you a question?
Talk about it, Mike.
Can you name 6 guys on the Sacramento Kings?
You have De'Aaron Fox. You have Donovan, the Mitchell guy, not Donovan Mitchell, but the Mitchell guy.
Crazy.
You have Domantas Sabonis.
Mm-hmm.
You have Harrison Barnes.
Mm-hmm.
You have that's 4.
Malik Monk.
Malik Monk, yeah. And there's one other guy that I can't think of off the top of my head that I liked watching.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
But you got to credit Mike Brown for that, though.
And I can, and that's cool. But when you take factors in, and we only talk about Clay, and we only talk about Curry and Draymond and Wiggins, and no one talks about Kuminga, no one talks about Looney, no one talks about Gary Payton, who's coming back into his own. I'm like, bro, If everybody thinks Malik Monk's gonna drop 32 a game this whole series, you're fucking crazy. Sorry for my language, but that's just what it is. And I think that's gonna be the adjustment in game 2 is neutralizing one of those key guys. It's gonna be hard to neutralize Fox because that man's a dog, a bona fide dog, and that's just a fact. But Malik Monk, hey Frankie, let me know how Malik Monk was for the Lakers.
He had one good game and then he was quiet.
Cool. So then how was he in Charlotte? Cool.
Quiet.
How was he anywhere else ever in his entire career? Cool. How was he in Kentucky? Cool. He wasn't like that. And I think that's something right now that Steve Kerr recognizes, and I think that's going to be the deciding factor. And I think a big part of it is, Mike Brown, sure, yeah, the Golden State Warriors. That's cool. Steve Kerr knows Mike Brown. Mike Brown's been in this league a long time. I'm not going to say, Mike Brown had a hell of a season. I'm not discrediting him whatsoever. But there's no reason you went back to being an assistant coach is because you can't win championships. You can go to the dance. That's cool. But one thing Kerr does is win championships. And I think that's going to be the complete difference. You could say, well, maybe he learned that under Kerr, but that's cool. That's like me hanging out with Rob Scott for a week and saying, oh, I know what it's like to live on the South Side. No, I don't. That's just what it is. And I think at the end of the day, Dubs in 5. And that's my take.
Well, and to your point, Mike, I think the biggest thing that hurt the Dubs was just the 3-point shooting. They lost by 3. And Thompson went 6 of 14, or 8 of 19, or 5 of 14, and then Curry went 6 of 14. So that's 11 of 28. They lost by 3. So if they can get that 3-point shooting back in check, because they only shot 32% as a team from the 3-point line, they get that 3-point shooting on point. Well, then okay, now we're talking about a whole different game.
Yeah, and I think another issue is just the lineups, and Rob and I talked about that last night, was really just the lack of seeing Jordan Poole on the floor with those two individuals as well.
Say the real. The rotation was horrible.
Yeah, and you know what? That's okay, though, because that was something that Kerr's playing with, that he wanted to see what he could get away with. He wanted to see what he can't get away with. We had these same conversations when they were down 0-1 against Memphis, when they were down 0-1 against Boston, when they were down 0-1 against Denver, and that's just what it was. And I'm still ready to collect my check from FanDuel, not FanDuel because they said I'm not a real person, from DraftKings and a couple other places because I still got the Dubs winning it. And I think that on the road shit is overrated to me. I think this is a whole different atmosphere. This is a whole different ball game. And if the only thing Mike Brown knows about this team on how to beat them is make sure Steph Curry is not in his own head, respectfully, Dustin, because I love you. But if it's making sure that Steph Curry isn't getting a heat check and then making sure they're on the road, I think you have a serious problem because those are two things that aren't really something that a head coach can control. So I think it's going to be interesting.
Well, can I just point out and say that everybody should know.
You're so handsome.
So that everybody should know that in game 1 of every playoff series, it's more of a let's learn what this team is going to bring us. Let's learn and see what they're going to do. Let's see what these players have. And then that's where game 2, game 3, all the rest of the games is where, you actually see a real true head-to-head competition. And I do agree with you guys. I do expect, the Golden State Warriors to come out in game 2 and dominate just because, Steph Curry's not going to look at or go out there and be like, well, we're not going to have a game 1 remembrance. Like, we're not going to lose by 3 this time. We're going to win by 3 or even more. But I feel like that's what more of a game 1 is like. Is to see what they're going to bring in, and to see what they're going to do. Except if you're the Lakers and Memphis Grizzlies, it's gonna continuously happen. Lakers in 4, but that's what I think.
Tell them.
I'm just gonna say this again, just to reiterate what Mike said. It's a cold day in hell if you think Malik Monk and De'Aaron Fox are both about to go for damn near 64 points.
No, but I do think De'Aaron Fox is a legit deal, man. I think he's definitely – you can make the argument about Monk, but I think Fox – there's some legitimacy to that dude.
Fact.
Who else was that dude?
You know what they say? Though? Hold on. You know what they say, Rob? The proof is in the pudding. So show me game 2, baby. Let's see what game 2 looks like.
You know who else is that dude? Mr. Austin Reeves, AR-15.
Austin Reeves had a good night.
Keep sleeping on the white mamba.
Okay, don't go that far. Don't go that far.
I'm about to say, Frankie, that's hey, even for you, that's an overstretch. Don't go that far.
Nah, I'm going that far. You show me, you tell me.
Well, you need to Frank, you know I love you, but you got to put more respect on the Mamba than that. Come on.
I'm putting respect on his name. By handing it over to Austin Reeves, AR-15.
Oh, you can't do that. He hasn't done that.
I can do it, Jay. I can do it. All right.
As a non-Lakers fan, I'm telling you, you cannot do that.
And I'm a Laker fan. As a Laker fan, I'm telling you, I'm doing it.
If Kobe was here right now, he would tell you.
If Kobe was here right now, Kobe would say Austin Reeves got that Mamba mentality. Passing it over.
I don't think he's saying that.
Oh, he's saying it right now. He's saying it right now. He's saying Memphis in 4 because of Austin Reeves.
You know what I think he's saying? Hey, young buck, know your role. Know your role.
No, you're not really Kobe, I'm gonna tell you exactly what Kobe's saying. We ain't done a damn thing yet. The job ain't finished. That's exactly what he's saying.
Again, I think that fits under know your role. You guys, like you said, you got to win some shit before you can start saying some shit.
Did he not just win something?
No, he hasn't won shit.
Game 1?
Exactly. That's winning something.
Bro, come on.
When we start handing out championships and winning game 1.
Hold on.
No,
hold on. And I understand what you guys are trying to say. He's got to win championships. No, but you got to put into consideration. This man was an undrafted, restricted free agent. He was an undrafted free agent.
Okay, there's a lot of undrafted agents.
Jay, do not interrupt me. He is an undrafted free agent. Within 3 years in the NBA league, 2 finally in the major league, in the major NBA league with the Lakers, because in his first year he was in the G League. 2 years in the Lakers system, the man finally makes the playoffs. He goes off, and he's going up against the number 2 Memphis Grizzlies and John Morant, Jared Jackson Jr., Dylan Brooks, and Desmond Bane. And you're gonna sit there and say the man hasn't won any. That's a huge accomplishment for Austin Reeves. He knows what the real.
Nobody's gonna take that away from him. Hey, but Frankie, nobody's taking that away from him.
Don't interrupt me. You wait.
I'm gonna interrupt because you talk for an hour.
I'm not you.
You talk for an hour.
Don't interrupt me. The man knows. This is a new ASAP shit. Do not interrupt me. The man knows what his real accomplishment is, and that's winning a championship. He knows that. He's not dumb. But go ahead and you win game 1 against Memphis, who's a number 2 seed, and he had high points for a career high in playoffs for himself. Come on, man. The man won something, and he's got the mentality to go out there in game 2 and do exactly what he's doing. Because guess what? The man has been doing it all season long.
You good? Okay. So I'm just, hey, look, I'm all about giving him his respect. I am. The dude played well, no doubt about it. But let's not go too far with it just yet. Okay? He had a great game, no doubt about it. He's an undrafted rookie coming up, commendable. But you're not there yet. That's too much. That's too much too soon, and it's not warranted. And it's almost a slap in the face of Kobe when you put him in that category too soon. It's too much, Frankie.
Oh,
it's too much.
How's that a slap in the face of Kobe? Half the people in the goddamn NBA play because of Kobe.
But to put him in the category of Kobe,
what's wrong with that?
You can't do that. There's a lot wrong with that.
Oh my God.
I would almost tell you the fact that you're saying it out here right now out loud makes me nervous about your podcasting future.
But yet, whoa, pause on that, because you say some wild dumb shit that
I do. That's how I know. I've learned.
But pause on it. But we got people over here, and Rob, I'm not trying to point you out, Rob, because I do it as well. But they're calling Lady Mamba. They've been calling her Lady Mamba since college days, and she ain't even do nothing in the WNBA. Has she won a ring in the WNBA yet? Has she? Answer me.
I'm not the one. I'm not anywhere near saying that about her. The proof is in the pudding, man. And you need a little bit longer span of doing something, because you can say, well, hell, Zion Williams is in the same company as because look at Zion. Zion, when he's on the court, the guy plays lights out. Lights out. Nobody touches him. But then there's other people that say, well, he can't stay on the court long enough, so he's a colossal bust. People are too quick to label things in this life, and we have to slow it back, say, good job, young man. Let's see if your body of work can stand the test of time. Get a few more accolades under your belt, and then we can have a conversation. But right now you're doing well. You're doing well. You're on the radar, but I need to see a lot more going down the line. If you want me to even say the word Mamba and your name in the same damn sentence, need a little bit more. Need a little bit more body of work.
You clearly need to watch more Lakers game with Austin Reeves because it clearly shows to me that you don't know what he actually has been doing. This, like I said, this is a man who was undrafted, came in to the G League within 1 year, got into the main roster, became as a bench player, and he is now a starter, teaming up on the same side with LeBron James and AD, D'Angelo Russell, Jared Vanderbilt. An amazing starting lineup right there. The man has turned his life around in the NBA within 3 years.
I say give it to the panel. Stat guy, Rob, Chris. I think he may be on a doctor's call.
I mean, you can compare.
Is he right or wrong?
He's right because you can compare his journey to Alex Caruso. Alex Caruso is the same exact way as Austin Reeves, the guy that was undrafted, went to the G League for a couple of years, got to the Lakers, became a star, and then got paid.
But
Alex Caruso also won the ring.
Is he the Mamba?
He's not the Mamba. No one's ever going to be the Mamba, but he still has that Mamba mentality in him where if the game's on the line, Austin Reeves wants the ball in his hands, and LeBron James and everybody else on the Lakers aren't going to hesitate to give it to him.
Real quick, so you're saying that he is in the Kobe Bryant category?
No, he's not in the Kobe Bryant category. Having the mentality and having the overall skills that Kobe Bryant have are two different categories.
But Frankie is saying that he's in the category.
Does he have the skill that Kobe Bryant had? Hell no. He's nowhere close to having the skill that Kobe Bryant had. But in terms of mentality, he's in that same category as Kobe Bryant in terms of the mental side of the game because he thinks he can make that last shot. Kobe Bryant thinks he can make that last shot. Kobe Bryant wanted the ball in his hands in the last seconds. Austin Reeves wants the ball in his hands in the last seconds. And the Lakers are going to not hesitate to give him the ball if they have that chance to.
And I agree with that. If you want to say that, I'll say that. I say if you want to say that he has a Mamba mentality, sure, bet. I'm with that all day, 2 times on Sunday. But to say that he's in the same category, that's where I go left.
Hold on. I didn't say he's in the same category. I called him White Mamba, and you guys want to go and take a flip on it because I call him that.
Actually, I don't mind if you call him White Mamba. I mean, they call Brian Scalabrine a White Mamba.
Oh, okay, but now for the past 15 minutes, I'm getting shit for it.
I gotta give you shit, Frankie. That's my pleasure.
I get it. You want to give me shit? We're up 1-0. Your Bulls aren't in the playoffs, and your Warriors are down 0-1. I get it. You want to give me shit? Go ahead.
I get it, and I also will say this: I don't think you would be defending Austin Reeves so diligently if he wasn't on the Lakers.
Oh, are we ready for that conversation?
I definitely would.
I don't think so because you're basically saying he's about to get a participation award. I'm not saying what he hasn't done isn't spectacular. As you mentioned, he's an undrafted kid. Any kid who's undrafted and still finds a way to make it to the NBA and not just make it to the NBA, have an impactful effect on the team, especially during the playoffs, that's great. But let the story continue to be written first before we start saying this guy is it. Because guess what? There's a lot of basketball still yet to be played. We don't know if Ja Morant is going to come back. I mean, I will say if Ja Morant doesn't come back, I'm calling for a sweep, actually.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But if Ja Morant comes back, there's going to still be a tough team to play. And I'm not going to bank on Austin Reeves having a game like he had last night every night of the playoffs. So let's just let his story be written first. But I will give kudos to the kid. That is a miraculous story. That is a story of tenacity, perseverance, and dedication. to say, you know what, screw your draft. I'm going to still make it to the league. And not only am I going to make it to the league, I'm going to be saying I'm him on the court with LeBron James and Anthony Davis on that same court.
And that's the problem that I have with the NBA, and I don't know how you guys feel about this. I think the NBA draft is too short. I don't think 2 rounds is enough. I'm not saying go 5, 6, 7 rounds, but I think the NBA should theoretically do 3 rounds. Because how many players are undrafted players that make it to the league because you have the G League as kind of your stepping stone to get to the league?
Well, that's true. And real quick, Rob Scott, I don't know if we can quite say Lakers sweep yet because we got to make sure AD can last that long.
Are you kidding me right now?
Yeah, if Ja Morant doesn't come back, AD can rest until the next series.
Hold on, Jay. Don't turn into don't turn into one of those people, Jay. Jay, don't turn
I'm not
into
turning one of those people, but it is true, though, man. The only thing worried about the Lakers is AD's health. I mean, how does it not worry you a little bit?
No, it doesn't worry me. You want to know why? Because people like Mike Hughes, people like Randy, people like Rob, they like to talk shit about AD's health and stuff. He had an injury yesterday with an arm, and he came back in the third quarter and continued to dominate.
I wonder, do you think LeBron is telling AD? I mean, I'm serious. I think that could be where maybe Bron is helping AD. Like, yo, bro, I know you got maybe like this messed up arm, and I know you probably want to take it off, but I need you to come back in. I wouldn't be surprised if Bron doing it. You know,
it wasn't even that serious for AD. The man had a stinger in his arm. I've told this to everybody on the group chat. I guarantee if anybody in here has a stinger in their arm, they're not going to be able to move their arm for 2 minutes as well. I guarantee it.
Yeah,
but he did. You know what? I will say he definitely put his bid in to win an Academy Award.
Not really. You could say the same thing about Ja. Man literally hurts his hand and he wants to scream so loud over all his fans.
Ja fell on his wrist, dude.
I don't want to hear that shit.
He fell out of the air and his wrist broke his fall. What did you think was going to happen?
I don't care. Anthony Davis had his arm pulled by Jaren Jackson.
He got his arm tugged, and he was like, "Oh, my little arm, I'm hurt. I can't move it. Oh my God, I've never experienced this much pain in my life."
I'm sorry. If Ja Morant wasn't holding a gun every day, he wouldn't be getting clocked in the hand by his own gun.
Oh damn!
Hey, that ain't. Hey, go ahead, attack Ja. Hey, it's funny you mentioned that. You know. Talking about crazy memes. Somebody talking about he fell on his trigger finger.
Oh, damn.
I ain't gonna lie, I passed out laughing on that one.
I'm sorry though, but I do think some of them injuries that they be saying and they be all screaming this, that, and the other. I'd be like, shut the hell up. Let me tell you something. I jumped out of a perfectly good helicopter, slammed my ass into the side of that son of a bitch, and I still rappelled 90 feet down, and I never once let out a yell.
Like when are we gonna?
Jay, we cannot compare NBA players to people in the military. Okay.
No, but I'm just saying we gotta toughen up. Rob, our people gotta toughen up. And when I say our people, I mean our basketball, our professional athletes. We gotta toughen up. All of us.
I just want consistency because when are we gonna start talking about? When are we gonna start not blaming, but putting stuff on Ja Morant? The man literally has. Seasons where he plays regular season, and once playoff comes, the man gets hurt and he's done. We need to start looking at Ja Morant differently.
I've said Ja Morant reminds me of Derrick Rose in some great ways and some bad ways. I've said that. Like, I don't think the way Ja Morant plays is out of control. Even though I'm not saying he's out of control, but I'm just like, dude, right now, Ja Morant, which is understandable, he's a young guy. He relies strictly on athleticism. I can jump higher than you. I'm a step quicker than you. And he uses that almost to a fault because it's like, dude, sometimes you have to slow down and let the game come to you. You can't just go. I mean, he hurt himself trying to. What did you think you was going to do over Anthony Davis? That's what I would have been at. What were you about to do? You do know AD has been in conversations for Defensive Player of the Year. He's been one of the league's leading shot blockers. What did you think you were going to do against him? So, yeah, I agree with you, Frankie. I think Ja, if he continues this style of play, he's going to hurt himself. And it's going to be whether his legs can't take the beating or he's going to be having nasty falls like he had in game one.
Well, it's like everything else, man. The more athletic you are, the more abuse your body takes. He just needs to learn to develop a nice, a mid-range jumper like DeRozan, or just do a better job with the three-point line. I would probably say go the DeRozan route. If he could just a really good mid-range jumper, it would save him a lot of pain and heartache, and probably extend his career.
I mean, there's no way he could play like DeRozan because he doesn't have the height or the weight to kill people.
No, I'm just talking about.
What I will say is he should pay attention to guards like Steve Nash. He should pay attention to guards like Jason Kidd, guards that can maneuver, guards like Tony Parker, who doesn't get enough love.
The difference with those guards is they can shoot.
Yeah, well, Tony Parker could not shoot at first.
But I'm just saying, John Morant shoot at first. John Morant is an inconsistent shooter. He cannot play he cannot play like
but I mean, you still got to give him time. What this is his fourth year? Third year?
He still can't play like Steve Nash though. Steve Nash never had the athleticism that Morant has. None of those guards had the athleticism that John Morant has.
Yeah, but also none of those guards besides Steve Nash could shoot. Jason Kidd couldn't shoot to save his life.
Tony Parker could. Tony Parker could, especially in the playoffs. Tony Parker was one of the best shooters in terms of guards in playoff history.
Are you talking about later years?
No, like when the Spurs were actually winning their titles, when they won their 5 titles in 8 years. Tony Parker is one of the better shooting percentage guards-wise over that time. Tony Parker stepped up big time in the playoffs and became a shooter during the playoffs. Maybe not during the
regular season. Tony Parker led the league in points in the paint as a guard. What are we talking about here?
Tony Parker shot 42.7% from three-point range in the playoffs, compared to 31.6% in the regular season. When the playoffs started, Tony Parker was a sniper from outside.
Ja can change that. Ja was, remember, when he won Most Improved Player of the Year, he jumped his three-point average up to 34% from 31%. So he's proven if he goes in the lab and works on his game, he can do it. Ja just has to be consistent and let go of the extracurricular activities outside of the NBA.
But the problem with that is he does that, his athleticism is going to suffer. That is what makes Ja who he is his athleticism. And that is the best part of his overall game. He's not going to sacrifice his athleticism to become a better shooter.
Yeah, but are you going to sacrifice your athleticism to stay in the league longer?
That's the only way he's going to do it. If he ends up starting to get hurt like Derrick Rose, if he ends up starting to get hurt like some of these other athletic guards, then yes, then he will go to more of a shooter first, athletic second type of guard. But until he gets to that point, he will never focus on being a shooter because that's not his game. That wasn't his game as college. That wasn't his game in high school, and that's not going to be his game now.
And the sad part is, if you're right about that, Dustin, Memphis ain't winning nothing.
And they won't win anything with him. I've already said they can't. I've already said they can't win it.
So why are we still talking about this loser?
You can say Rob. You can say the same thing about. You can say the same thing about Zion. And Zion's getting to the point right now where Zion is going to be forced to change the way he plays.
Who we talking about?
Zion.
I forgot that man was in the league.
He's getting to the point now. He's getting to the point now where he's going to be forced to change the way he plays.
Oh, he has to, because he's not going to change the way he
eats. High school, and he went through his 1 year of college relying on 100% athleticism and being bigger than everybody else that was on the floor with him. He got to the NBA, and he thought he could still play that way, and he's finding out he can't play that way anymore. And he needs to develop more of a complete game. Zion's getting to that point now where he has to. Ja has not gotten to that point yet because there's no guards in this league that are as athletic as he is. But when he gets to that point, whether it's through injuries or when he gets to that point where people are just getting more physical with him when he does drive the lane, that's when he's going to have to start changing his game. But I don't see that happening for another 3 or 4 years yet.
Yeah, I'm just worried in those 3 or 4 years he's gonna kill himself.
I just want to point something out right here, and I understand what he's trying to say. Yes, players can make adjustments and stuff like that if they're willing to go ahead and work in the offseason and stuff like that. But listen, if you're John Morant, we all know John Morant is not putting the work in offseason. We all know what John Morant is doing. He's going out there acting like a thug with a gun in his pocket, money in his pocket, going to strip clubs, showing shit off. We know what John Morant is doing, because if John Morant in the offseason was actually going out and putting the work in, I guarantee you today we'll be seeing a different John Morant.
I do too. John Morant doesn't care about basketball unless it's the basketball season. There's a reason why he was at Murray State and not any of these other big name schools. because that was always the knock he had against him in high school. He never put the work in unless it was during the season.
Yeah,
And it showed all the way through college. It shows now. If he honestly cared about basketball as much as some of these other players did, he would be putting the work in the offseason to become a better player. But he doesn't do that, and that's always been the player he was. Ja Morant was the number 5 ranked point guard when he entered college, and he was a top 25 recruit overall, but yet he ended up at Murray State because all these big names like Duke, Kentucky, Kansas, Arizona, all these other big name programs knew that he wasn't going to put the work in needed to become a better player. He missed his junior year of high school because his coach suspended him for the entire season because he didn't put in the work during the offseason like the rest of the team did. That's a red flag right there going into college.
He was too busy hitting the giddy or gritty, whatever it's called.
He was too busy practicing target practice with a rifle.
And not practicing target practice with a basketball.
Hey, he practicing his TikTok and Instagram poses, okay?
But I will say this, Frankie. Shout out to your Lakers because what they're doing right now, they're on a great run. I mean, we're talking about a team nobody thought would even make the playoffs or the play-in. And now they're continuing to play well. And it's looking like a good chance, not saying that it's 100% true, but it's looking like a chance LeBron could have a chance to hold up his 5th ring.
Look, if Steph Curry Steph Curry somehow another breaks his leg, stuff like that, then yeah, I think the Lakers make it all the way. They're going to need a lot of help, though. Lakers going to need a lot. It's amazing, like you said. It's impressive they've gotten to where they've gotten, but it's going to take a lot for them to get all the way there.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on.
They are 15, but I will say this: they are 15. It is a good X factor for that team to take in consideration.
Jay, don't even say about that with Steph Curry, because listen, I'm going to tell you guys this right now. The Lakers won the entire series against the Warriors this season. I'm talking about a regular season sweep.
But playoff basketball is not the same.
No, exactly. You got playoff basketball with LeBron and AD now. You got people like Rui Hachimura and Austin Reeves helping out LeBron James and AD when them guys are resting on the bench. We're seeing how not a comparison, but we're seeing a 2 different team comparison from the Warriors and the Lakers. And what it looks like is the Lakers are more hungry than the Warriors. And I'm not saying that because the Warriors aren't playing really well or nothing like that. The Warriors can absolutely do it. The only reason I say that is because the Warriors are just coming off a championship series. They're coming in as cocky, already thinking they know what to do. The Lakers are hungry. They got a bunch of people who haven't won a ring yet, besides AD, besides LeBron. They have a bunch of people who hasn't won a ring yet, and they're hungry for one.
Well, I'll tell you this: the best thing they did was that mid-season trade to get, Vanderbilt and all the Monk and all those guys, all the guys they brought in. I mean, Hachimura and so forth. I mean, so they pivoted really nice. Now we'll see how far that pivot will take them. But yeah,
you know what had me laughing? What had me laughing was when Rui Hachimura was on fire. He hit. This was the time when he hit like a couple threes during the game, literally like back to back. The man was going crazy, and the camera goes to the bench, and what do you know? I see Tristan Thompson on the bench. I'm like, what the hell? Where did this man come from?
Yeah, they brought him in. Yeah,
I forgot. I totally forgot. We picked up Tristan Thompson. I looked at my wife and I'm like, babe, there's Khloe Kardashian's baby daddy. Because that's the only way she knows him. It's the only way she knows him. I'm like, that's her baby daddy right there. I forgot we picked him up.
Oh, is Tristan Thompson, is he dating Khloe Kardashian?
No, they're not dating anymore, but he's the baby daddy.
She about killed him.
Yeah, because he cheated on her.
Wow. So Lamar Odom and Tristan have had that young woman. Ain't that something? Nothing better than shit. Lakers Kardashian.
I'll tell you what. Tristan Thompson had her when she was way better looking. Well, Lamar Odom had a fat Khloe.
Yeah, he did. He got the worst end of the Khloe deal.
Lamar Odom had Tristan Thompson's rebound.
No. Tristan Thompson had Lamar's Odom rebound. Lamar Odom had her first.
Oh yeah, other way around. Yeah.
If anything, Lamar Odom's going around saying, "Yo, Tristan, how my sloppy thirds, bro."
Man, oh man.
Hey, yo, Chris, where your dad at? Where your dad at? Cause he got listen. I'm gonna show this right now. Your dad need to shut his mouth and know his role. Because I'm gonna tell you what, I will secretly come into your goddamn money line next episode, and I'm gonna tell him off live on your stream. All right, Tony. Before you even go and talk about anybody's team or anybody's fan bases, all right, you need to worry about your own Mr. Loser since 1996. All right. Matter of fact, when was the last time the Cincinnati Reds won? Chris, can you remind me? Was it 1967?
1990.
Oh, all right, so 1980. All right, you need to go back. Go to those VCR tapes that you got upstairs from your previous, from your recording back in the day. I know you still got a VCR up in your. Oh, there he is. That's him. That's it. Get your ass in here, Tony. Get your ass in here.
I don't think it was VHS. I think back then it was called Beta.
8 tracks.
Tony, get you. Tony, I've been waiting for you. I'm glad
It might have been an 8mm reel. I'm not sure.
Jay, show you my leave between me and Tony right now. I'm glad
Hey,
you're
I don't have
Mr.
to.
Loser.
I don't have to pick and choose my teams that are winning teams every year. Jump on.
Damn.
Hey,
if my team's a losing team,
hold
they're a
on,
losing team.
hold on,
All I said
hold on.
about the Lakers, and who your best friend, Jonathan Mathis. If they miss a shot, we effing suck. The Lakers suck. We got a bucket. We're the best team ever. A bunch of crybabies I ever seen in my life.
That's just Jonathan Mathis because he's a true Clippers fan. We all know that.
Jonathan Mathis, this is a shout out from ASAP.
We missed a shot. He fell. He's hurt. He's hurt. He's hurt.
Tony, you are
bitches, man.
You are one of my friends on Facebook. I want you to go to my page when you're available, scroll down, and you tell me when was the time you hear me crying or bitching about the Lakers. Listen, and I agree with you. I totally agree with you because yesterday when Anthony Davis hurt himself, I seen a bunch of Lakers fans.
Why you give me shit if you agree with me?
Because I'm a Laker fan. If you're gonna say something about Laker fans, at least take me out of it. It's not you.
Let me ask you a question. How long you been a Laker fan? Since they started winning?
I've been a Laker fan since the late 90s with Kobe Bryant.
Okay, because you like Kobe.
In all due fairness, that's probably about when he was born.
And honestly, Tony, in all fairness, that's the reason why I'm a Bulls fan, because I grew up on Michael Jordan.
Hey, nobody cares why you're a Bulls fan. This is all about Frankie right now.
Let me ask, why are you a Patriots fan?
Oh, because I love Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. But I don't.
That was about the same time when Frankie was born.
But I don't switch my team. I mean, a lot of people have asked me when Tom Brady went to the Bucs. I'm a diehard Yankee fan. That was my first sport that I've grown up watching with my family and stuff was baseball.
Okay, and I'll give you credit for that. If you don't switch teams, that's fine. But you give me hell because I got losing teams. I don't switch my teams, and I didn't go with teams because they had a great player. I went with the Pacers.
Now, Chris, what you could say was,
Jay, shut your mouth. This is between me and Tony.
Well, Frankie, why are all your?
Why is he still talking? It's between me and Tony. Damn. Go ahead, Tony. Finish what you had to say.
Like if you was like a last place team.
Oh my God! Just because you're a last place team with your Houston Rockets, shut up.
But I've been with them through the losing years, not the winning years.
I've been with the Lakers through the losing years. Hell, we went 6 years.
What do you have, like 3?
We went 6 years without going to the playoffs, Jay.
6 years. Who fucking who?
Tony, my bad. It's been.
I'm just curious. I do have one question for Frankie. I've noticed that all of your teams come from high, metropolitan areas where they have large surplus amounts of money. When's the last time you had like a small time team? Like you're up to around Buffalo. You're in Mechanicsville. Why aren't you a Buffalo Bills fan?
Because I'm not a Buffalo Bills fan. I'm a New England Patriot fan. That's like me asking you why aren't you? Hold on. That's like. Hold on. That's like hold on. No.
Giants or the Jets?
Jay, don't say that because that's like me saying, how come you're not a Houston Texans fan? Why are you a Dallas Cowboy fan?
Because but I kept it within the state. I didn't go out of the state.
But I can't. But I'm within the state.
Bro, you got teams on different time zones.
Hold on. But isn't the Dallas one is in different time zone? That's the Lakers. But
that's what I said. Different time zone.
Hold on. And you're talking about my teams being high end, high value shit. The Dallas Cowboys are the highest value in NFL. But yeah, you're a Houston.
Well, not
Texans
necessarily.
fan.
Not when I
Facts.
joined. I joined
There's
them in
Gonzo's and Tony's
1973.
beautiful face.
Yeah. Hey, man, how's it going?
Hey,
all
they
good.
weren't
How
as
y'all
valuable in
feeling?
1973 like they are now. They became valuable, but yeah.
Just found that out after we were doing searches on that like a couple of weeks ago. Shut your mouth.
You shut your mouth.
Come at me about
we
my
go.
team's high values when your team has the most highest value in the NFL. And
Now, not then.
And you're a Houston everything fan, except the Houston Texans.
I told you. I said, look, this is a long story. My dad came home with the Dallas Cowboys jacket. I love the jacket. I kept wearing it. And then I became. That was a beautiful time of 1970. Well, it was 1974, actually.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ. Holy
I
hell.
think it's crazy though, because I know how much hatred there is between New York and Boston fan bases, and you're like the guy that rides the middle of both fan bases. It's hard to believe that a guy from New York would be like a Boston. That'd be like a guy from Texas going to be a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. It's weird.
What? You just said a guy from Texas being a Pittsburgh Steelers fan?
Well, what I'm saying is Dallas Cowboys and Pittsburgh Steelers have a rivalry, right? New York and Boston, we know that they have a rivalry.
No, I think the Dallas Cowboys have rivalry with the Giants, the Eagles, and the Washington Commanders.
No, I'm just talking about rivalry cities.
Oh, you're talking about back in the 1950s and 60s when nobody cared besides Tony. Listen, let's get back to some real shit here. Damn it. Chris, go ahead. God, you guys are working me up. The Lakers won, damn it. Let me have a day.
He said, let me have a day.
Hey, they played a great game. But this some of them guys on Facebook, man, every I mean, the dude falls down and you thought the world come to an end. And
I agree. I agree.
Hey, Frankie, one quick. Can I just say one quick thing? Just one quick. And it's a beautiful moment. Gonzo, everybody listen. So me and Frankie, we're on FaceTime, and his daughter's my niece, and Avery comes in there, and I said, Avery, turn over to your daddy and tell him you're an Astros fan, that you love the Astros. And at first she kind of looked at Frankie like she didn't know if she could do it or not. I said, Avery, if you do it, I'll buy you a dress. Man, I kid you not. She said it quicker than a shiznit. And then she looks back over at Mel and says, I just did it because I wanted the dress, Daddy.
She didn't even say Astros or breast or nothing. You know what she said? All she said was Astros. That's all she said was Astros, and they got Jay.
No. Don't let him take away that moment. She said Astros are the best, and I bought her the dress. It's a beautiful dress on a beautiful girl, and she had nice little headbands. Oh, she's beautiful.
You guys talk about
Melt your heart. I don't know how Frankie can make something so beautiful, but he made a beautiful child. I gotta give him credit on that one.
If they have you or not. Yeah, I was on the phone with the doctor trying to figure out shit.
But yeah, man.
All right.
What about these Suns and the Thunder and Durant? Wow.
Oh, you talking about Kawhi Town?
Nah, we're talking about Westbrook bringing
Bro,
back.
they didn't even have Paul George, and they got still handed the L.
I would like to hand out the Defensive Player of the Game award to one Russell Westbrook, who was out there terrorizing KD. People thought he let it go. It seems to me he ain't let nothing go. And on top of that, how he took the challenge of saying, okay, you know what? I'm going to guard D-Book, and I'm going to make life tough on him. Now, D-Book was still able to get his, but that block and forcing it out of bounds on Devin Booker, I mean, I think everybody has had the same sentiment. Russell Westbrook had the best 3 of 19 game we've ever seen in our life.
How about Hey, Rob, did you see what he said to the fan as he was going to the dressing room? It was so beautiful. It was so beautiful.
Go ahead, Frankie. Sorry.
No, you're good. And I said it for a while. Listen, you can go 3-16. You can go 3-20 all you care. You can get a couple of points. As long as you come in there and you play really great defense, you played really good. And Dustin over there saying, not really. But you have to look at it. What wins you games, Dustin? Defense. If Russell Westbrook is putting that defense on them especially the one that you guys like to call one of the greats to do it today, on Kevin Durant. I've been trying to tell you guys this man ain't shit. All right, excuse my language, but I'm gonna say it. The man ain't shit, and I've been saying it for a while. You had little Russell Westbrook go ahead and D you up the way he D'd you up, and then he blocks the last shot on Devin Booker, and then to go and force it out at the same moment that he blocked it, bro. You got to give Russell Westbrook his props. He had low numbers, but the man's defense was insane.
Man, if only that man could make a shot, how much better could they be?
Listen,
he plays great defense. I'm not taking that away from him. I just wonder how much better he'd be if he actually could make a shot. I mean, 3 for 19 is horrible. Imagine if he shot at least, just give me 40%. Yo, Russ, can I get at least 40% from you? I mean,
I get it.
Hell, even that would be nice.
I get it. I totally get it. But when you have someone like Kawhi Leonard, who had the hot hands last night, making so many threes, making so many crazy jumpers and layups.
Oh, yeah, I got you.
You might as well keep going. The man had how many assists? I think 8 assists, 11 rebounds.
Yeah, he had 8 assists, 11 boards. And
hold on, not just 11 boards, 5 clutch offensive rebounds in the second half. He allowed the Clippers to make mistakes because he kept giving them second chances. And like he said, humbly speaking, he is the best rebounding guard in the league. He is.
I'm not going to take that away from him. I just want the man to get to 40% shooting, and we're good.
Hey, I get that. And you know, that's always going to be a critique of Russell's game, that he is not efficient when it comes to scoring. But you also have to realize, you know, to Frankie's point, Clippers don't win that game yesterday without Russell Westbrook.
No, I feel you. I just don't think he can get away with that. I'm sorry. I apologize. Gonzo, go ahead.
What about Chris Paul, who he hasn't played good in the playoffs since his birthday last year?
You talking about traffic cone?
Yeah, only had 7 points yesterday. Since his birthday last year, he's only had averaging like 9 or 10 points in the playoffs.
Oh man, Chris.
Traffic cone, Chris. The one who took CP3 away from Candace Parker.
Hey, I would tell you like this, Chris, and I've been screaming this now for the past couple of weeks. There is no excuse now for Phoenix to not win a championship.
Mm-hmm.
If they do not win a championship, I think it's time that we reevaluate that we still call this man the point guard.
Not just that, but we need to reevaluate the standings of Kevin Durant, because the man got worked up to 4 first-round draft picks. He's going to a superstar Phoenix Suns team, not like a Golden State superstar, but a superstar Phoenix Suns team, and you don't pass. Just take in this for a second. If he doesn't pass the first round, you guys better be on my train with KD. That's all I'm saying. If the man don't pass the first round, I better.
Oh, of course. I mean, how can you not? No, seriously, how can you not? Yeah, how can you not be on that train? I get that. Yeah, I get it. But I just think when it comes to Westbrook, he can get away with that shit now. Is he going to get away with that? Hypothetically, let's say he goes and plays Denver. Can he get away with that? Number one, with Denver. Number two, if he gets past Denver, the East Coast, can he get past the Celtics if they make the playoffs? I don't think that Westbrook, if he plays the way he played, continuing going forward, yeah, he got away with it tonight with the bad shooting. But I don't think you get away with it against some of the better teams.
Can I tell you this? I think he does. You want to know why? Because if he goes up in the next round and faces Denver, or goes to the finals and plays the Celtics in the East, you want to know what's the difference? They'll have Paul George. They'll have another shooter next to Kawhi Leonard, to where Russell Westbrook don't even need to take a shot. All he has to do is continue doing what he's doing by playing defense and by getting rebounds and getting assists. The man don't need to shoot.
You think they'll have Paul George? But they've come out and said publicly, hey, look, this guy may think he's ready to go, want to go, but if we don't think he's ready to go, we're not playing. They're not in a rush to bring him back. I mean, I do think he plays, don't get me wrong, but I wouldn't be surprised if he misses 1 or 2 games in those seasons, in that series.
He's only missing the first series. That's all he's missing. He's only missing this round against the Phoenix Suns. If the LA Clippers going past the Phoenix Suns, we're going to see Paul George in round 2. We definitely will.
Okay.
You know Paul George is itching to get on that court. You seen it yesterday when he was sitting on the bench. The man wants to get on that court.
But I think what hurt the Phoenix Suns wasn't Kevin Durant. I think what hurt the Phoenix Suns was a lack of bench shooting. You only got 10 points off the bench.
Well,
No, it was Kevin
that's their
Durant.
problem. That's their problem. They don't have a bench, but I'm not letting Kevin Durant off the hook.
No, I'm not saying
There is no way that DeAndre Ayton should have took more shots than Kevin Durant.
Oh, I agree.
Not just that, Rob. If I'm not mistaken, Kevin Durant didn't score a point, not 1 point, until middle or late in the second quarter.
Yeah.
So I'm talking about a first quarter, 15 minutes, the man didn't get 1 point. Then half of the quarter of the second quarter, the man still don't get a point. Kevin Durant, if you're Kevin Durant, you need to make all your shots count in the first quarter and in the second quarter, and basically in every quarter. But you're Kevin Durant, you can't be missing all your shots in the first quarter and half the second. That's where he's going to lose you.
I mean, I understand exactly everything you guys are saying is spot on. I just, my opinion, I just think what obviously that bench really killed them though.
The bench is gonna
8 minutes.
Yeah, the bench is gonna suffer because you gave up so much for KD.
That's true. You did.
And they lost a lot of their defense when they got KD as well, giving up Mikal Bridges and as well. They lost some of their power on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah. And not to mention,
has been saying that.
Yeah, not to mention too, the defense. Let's talk about the Clippers defense for a second. Not just Russell Westbrook, but I'm joking, but honestly, Kawhi turned back into Toronto Kawhi last night. I mean, he was on it on both sides of the ball. Not only was he sticking KD on defense, he was giving it to KD on offense, and he forced KD to do what KD is not known for. KD can shoot a three-point shot, but he's not known as a three-point shooter. Kevin Durant took 7 threes yesterday and only hit 3.
Did you honestly just say that Kevin Durant is not known as a three-point shooter?
He's not known as a three-point shooter.
The guy shoots 41% from beyond the arc.
He's a scorer. He's a scorer.
That guy coming in the stats real quick.
Steph Curry,
the guy shoots 41% beyond the arc. How is that not
Curry, Damian Lillard, Klay Thompson? These guys are known for 3-point.
And you do realize that Kevin Durant has a better 3-point percentage than Damian Lillard. And
he doesn't take that many. That's why. Listen, if you want to bring up stats, that guy, because for some reason I think you just want to argue with me, and I like it. Bring it on. This past season, he only attempted 4.9 threes. Last season, 5.1 threes. Last season before that, 4.8 threes. Should I continue?
Let's just see how many games did he miss this year because he was hurt. How many games did he miss last year because he was hurt?
Doesn't matter. He doesn't shoot that many threes when he's in the games. That guy.
When he was with Golden State, he was taking 8 threes a game with Golden State and making.
That's because the floor was open. That's what happens when two people follow Steph Curry and another person
Phoenix doesn't open the floor like Golden State does. If Phoenix opened the floor like Golden State does, Durant would still be shooting 7-8 threes a game, and he'd be making almost 4 of them a game.
Guess what? That's just showing that Kevin Durant needs everything to be right for him to flourish. Because guess what? He couldn't do it when he was with Brooklyn. He couldn't do it when he was at OKC. And clearly right now he can't do it with the Phoenix Suns. He gets out of character when the game is stacked up against him.
I've been saying it since day one. Nobody wanted to listen to me. Nobody wanted to listen to me.
I've always liked Kevin Durant because of the way he plays basketball. I like the way he is in terms of a scorer. I've never felt that Kevin Durant could win you a championship. I've never felt that Kevin Durant could win you a championship if he had to do it himself. I always knew that he needed help, and he got that help when he went to Golden State. But in terms of how he scores the basketball, that's why I like Kevin Durant, because he can score in so many different ways that a lot of players can't. But his game does not translate into somebody that can win you a title without help. He needs help
because that guy, because granted he doesn't have the bench help, and that's clearly shown. But he does have a lot of people around him and that starting lineup that can help him. I mean,
here's the problem though, Jay. If you look at his tenure when he was with Oklahoma City, Russell Westbrook, James Harden, and Kevin Durant, 3 players that need the ball in their hands, 3 players that need to score. That's why he could never win in Oklahoma City, because you had 3 players that dominated the ball. You had 3 players that always wanted to shoot 20 times a game. So then Durant leaves Oklahoma City and goes to Golden State. What was the biggest difference when he was in Golden State? you had Curry, Thompson, and Durant that all wanted to shoot the ball. But all three of them also knew that any one of those three guys could knock down an open shot if they were open. So if the guy was open, Thompson would pass up a shot to give it to Curry. If Durant was open, Curry would pass up a shot to give it to Durant. And if Thompson was open, Durant would pass up a shot and give it to Thompson. Like, he knew that he had two other guys open that could always knock down a shot. He didn't always have that in Oklahoma City. Same thing when he went to Brooklyn. Kyrie Irving, James Harden joined him in Brooklyn. The same situation that he had to deal with in Oklahoma City. You have three players that dominate the ball, three players that want the ball in their hands every single possession. That's not going to win you a game. So he goes to Phoenix hoping that it can be the same thing that it was in Golden State, where you have a guy like Chris Paul who, yes, he can score you points, but he's also going to be a pass-first point guard and is going to know when to pass the ball to an open shooter. But you have Devin Booker, another guy who wants the ball in his hand the entire game, that wants to shoot 25 times a game. That doesn't work for Kevin Durant. He needs to be on a team where it's a shared basketball. He needs to be on a team where not everybody on that team wants to shoot the ball 25 times a game, which is why he had the success that he had in Golden State, and he hasn't had the success anywhere else he's gone.
So then why don't they have a team meet and be like, yo, look, Paul, you're obviously the distributor of the ball. You know, get Durant more involved and then even out the look, they only need 25 times. That's 50% between the both of them.
No, the problem is the DeAndre Ayton. They never should have brought back DeAndre Ayton.
That bum.
They never should have re-signed DeAndre Ayton. That is the Suns' biggest problem. If they would not have re-signed DeAndre Ayton and went after Nikola Vucevic like everyone thought they were going to be doing, Phoenix would be much better off, because you have Nikola Vucevic, who is a pass-first big man that attracts attention, attention in the paint, and then as soon as that attention goes to him, he kicks it out to the shooters. Ayton does not do that. And that's what would have made Phoenix Suns a much better team, is if you get rid of Ayton for a guy like Vucevic, who is basically a point guard from the center position that averages almost as many assists as he does rebounds.
Sorry, Chris. We know that you had DeAndre Ayton for about 2 hours.
Yeah.
He's like, damn it.
He's a bum. And you know what? I'm almost getting ready to call Kevin Durant a bum. Like, I like KD. Don't get me wrong. Like, I like KD as, from what I know about the guy, he seems like a pretty decent guy. But let's just be real. If I'm KD, the moment you disrespected me and put Russell Westbrook on me, I'm calling a timeout and say, if I don't get this ball in the post every time, we gonna have a problem. Until they decide to get this 6'3" dude off me, I'm gonna shoot over the top of his head. I'm gonna score so many points on Russell Westbrook. He's gonna go to sleep dreaming about my name.
And that's always been the biggest knock on Kevin Durant also, is he's not vocal. He doesn't speak up. He doesn't demand things that other players demand. He just lets the game come to him or whatever. He doesn't ever call a timeout and basically hold anybody accountable in the huddle. When things were going bad in Brooklyn, did you ever see Durant really hold anybody accountable?
Yeah.
No, he just went behind the scenes and asked for a trade. Behind the scenes,
yes, but I'm talking in the middle of the game.
No, he doesn't do that. Yeah, that's not in his demeanor. That's the reason why him and Westbrook couldn't work.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest knocks that Durant has had since he came into this league is he's a leader by scoring. He's not a leader vocally. And that's what a lot of people said. That's why Durant will never win a ring on his own without help, because he doesn't have the vocal leadership that people can get behind. He goes out there and drops his 30, 35 points per game and does what he does on the floor. But when times get tough, it's like he runs into a corner and doesn't want to open his mouth and speak and make somebody else do it for him.
Look, I just want my apologies by everybody when they all see the true Kevin Durant and they come on me and be like, hey, yo, Frankie, we're going to hop on that Kevin Durant hate train. And I'm going to say, come on aboard. Come on aboard. Just before you hop on, apologize. And Chris, please, do me a favor after the show, pin the part where Rob said, I'm starting to hate. I'm starting to call Kevin Durant a bum soon, because I want to keep that. Because when it comes, that's going to be the happiest day of my life.
Hey, I'm just keeping it real, man. Dustin brings up some great points.
About the hour and 21 minutes.
I mean, Dustin brings up some great points, and it's it's those reasons alone. It's like KD has every natural ability to be the best player in the NBA that we've ever seen.
He's gonna be one of 3 Hall of Famers in NBA history that's gonna be part of the 50-90-40 club. 90% free throw shooter, 50% shooter from the floor, and 40% shooter from deep.
Well, that's only because he missed half the season, bum.
And you know what the problem is with that stat guy? That with all that being said, he's not even in my top 10 all time. And that just shows the lack of leadership that Kevin Durant has and the lack of skill when it counts. Because all you have to do is pressure. Like we saw what Boston did last year. I think Boston gave the recipe up. Like tough.
I can't necessarily say that. The last 2 years I can agree with you on that. But you got to remember, 2 years ago, Kevin Durant almost single-handedly eliminated the Bucks from the playoffs.
Yeah, but he didn't.
I know, but I'm just saying that was the one time where Kevin Durant actually showed up in the playoffs, actually showed that he can carry a team on his own.
Yeah.
And the last 2 years, he has not done that, obviously. But that year when he was with Brooklyn, when Irving got hurt and Harden got hurt, and they made it to the second round, and pretty much everybody and their mother got hurt, and he single-handedly carried the Nets from a 3-1 deficit and nearly eliminated the Bucks. That's when I think a lot of people is like, okay, Kevin Durant really is as good as he is, but then the next 2 years he just goes completely backwards because then they give him just as much talent as he had the year before, and he hasn't done anything with it.
Dustin, I'm trying so hard. I'm trying every day as hard as I can. You need to get off that KD cloud. All right, back up a little bit. I think your eyes are going too deep in. You're seeing too much goodness in KD. Just back up a little bit. All right, put your wife's glasses on if she has them. All right, and see the real Kevin Durant. Okay, and by next week, I promise you, you're gonna be calling Kevin Durant a bum, just like I do.
I will never call him a bum because of his abilities. I will never call him a bum because of his abilities. He's still going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's still going to be in the Hall of Fame when it's all said and done. I can't call a Hall of Famer a bum. I can't. As much as I hate LeBron James, I'm never going to call LeBron James a bum.
He's not a
as
bum.
much as I hate certain players in this league, if they are first ballot Hall of Famers, I'm never going to call them a bum because of how they play.
Am I cool with calling DeAndre Ayton a bum?
I'm going to call DeAndre Ayton a bum, yes, because he's not going to be a Hall of Famer.
I appreciate that.
He's not going to be a Hall of Famer.
He's not going to be a Hall of Famer.
I appreciate that stat guy. Hell no, he's not.
The biggest thing with KD is just it always comes down to the same thing: leadership, man. Either you're a leader or you're not a leader. And just KD is not a leader. He's a hell of a talent. He's a pilot, extremely, extremely talented. But he lacks in the leadership ability. And that's what separates him from the truly great players like the Steph Currys, the Brons, the Michael Jordans, and the list goes on. I mean, those were leadership guys, and he's just not that. Neither is Kyrie. They're both the same.
Frankie, I'll say this too, because you're a Laker fan. When the Lakers had their three-peat right after the Bulls had their two three-peats in the 90s, I couldn't stand Kobe Bryant or Shaquille O'Neal. Not because they were skilled, but I couldn't stand them because they were winning.
Get him out of here.
But I'm just saying, I've always respected Kobe Bryant because of his abilities. I've never called Kobe Bryant a bum. I've never called Shaquille O'Neal a bum or any of the players that were on that Lakers team bums. I just didn't like them because they were the ones that were winning as many times as they were winning. Same thing when the Spurs were winning their 5 titles in 7 years. I couldn't stand Tim Duncan when he was on the court. I couldn't stand Tony Parker or any of those players when they were on the court. But they had good skill, and I never discredited their skill, and I never called any of them a bum. If they can play the game, I'm never going to call them a bum. But in terms of Durant, yes, he's a terrible leader. He's an absolutely terrible leader, and he's been exposed the last 3-4 years in the playoffs because of his lack of leadership. But from the numbers alone, he's going to be a first-ballot Hall of Famer, and you cannot call a first-ballot Hall of Famer a bum because obviously they put the work in to get to that level.
Everybody put the work.
Can I call him a Hall of Famer bum?
You can call him a Hall of Famer bum because he's probably going to have one of the saddest. He won 2 titles with the Warriors, right?
Hold up, Chris.
I think it was just one.
No, he won 2 titles because he was 2-time Finals MVP.
Okay,
Chris, I
so
want
he's
you to
gonna.
pin this as well. Dustin, you just said you could call him a what?
You can call him a Hall of Famer bum because he's gonna have one of the weakest
127.
Hall of Fame resumes when he goes
Okay.
in. He's gonna
Okay,
have like
but-
the statistics, but he's not gonna have the accolades that a Michael Jordan had. He's not gonna have the accolades that a Wilt Chamberlain had. He's not gonna have the accolades that Kobe Bryant had or Shaquille O'Neal had. Like from a statistic side of things, yes, he's gonna rank right up there in the top 5 all time in terms of statistics. But in terms of accolades, he's probably not even going to be a top 25 player in terms of overall accolades.
Right. But you know what's funny to me is 2 seconds ago, you just said you would never call him a bum, but yet you just agreed with Rob calling him a Hall of Famer bum.
No,
Yeah,
he put the word Hall of Fame in front of it,
It
which
don't
means
matter.
he's a Hall of Famer, but he's not as good as the rest.
Right. I mean, he's better. He's better than the normal bums. But when it comes to Hall of Famers, he's like the bum of them.
He's the bum of the Hall of Famers. Which I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't mind being in that category.
Who? What I missed?
Kevin Durant.
Hey, Pride.
Oh, you
Hey,
slow.
Pride.
Hold on, time on. Kevin Durant, the bum of Hall of Famers?
Yeah, he's a bum.
Settle down.
He's a bum.
All right, I know. All right, Frankie, everything you say, I'm taking with a planet size full of sand, bro. You hate him no matter what, so he's going to be a bum to you. So, Frankie, you saying that doesn't surprise me. You hate him. Robert.
Oh, no.
Robert
There's a
Scott.
word that's beyond
Wow.
hate. That's him.
Hey, Pride. Look, let me just say this, man. Let me just say this. The fact that he let Russell Westbrook defend him last night and like defend him good, that was a bad look. I'm sorry.
No. Don't get it twisted. Listen, it's not a bad look. It's a horrible, awful look. I'm with you there. I'm with you there. But to get that one moment or this one game and to pretend that he is a bum in terms of Hall of Famers, I know you're not calling him a bum as if he ain't Kwame Brown.
I guess I meant like I would call his Hall of Fame resume a bum resume compared to some of the other players.
I wouldn't call it a bum resume.
I would because he doesn't have the accolades. He has the statistics, but he doesn't have like the rings that Kobe has. He doesn't have the rings that Jordan has.
My head is hurting right now. My head is fully hurting right now.
You can't necessarily say that though, because if the litmus test is what 4, 5, let's pretend the litmus test is 5 rings. Paul Pierce ain't a Hall of Famer, so he's a bum. Kevin Garnett's not a Hall of Famer, he's a bum. Ray Allen's not a Hall of Famer, he's a bum. D Wade's not a Hall of Famer, he's a bum.
But they will be. D Wade is becoming the Hall of Famer this year.
D Wade, yeah, I was about to say D Wade is a Hall of Famer. He's just
he's not a bum Hall of Famer.
He hasn't officially been inducted yet.
No, he's in the Hall of Fame. Shut up. He's in the Hall of Fame. That's it.
But I will say, like, if I needed somebody to lead my team, I would choose D Wade over Kevin Durant.
Oh, don't get it twisted. I'm there with you. However, that being said, that doesn't mean he's a bum in terms of the Hall of Famer litmus test. Because the only thing he's really quote unquote lacking is the ring. That's really it. He's got the MVPs. And honestly, in my opinion, if he wins just one ring, it will solidify the 2 rings he got with Golden State.
Yeah.
It would. If he won Chris Paul a ring, that'll save his legacy.
Too bad he's not going to. He's
wait. How are we going to sit here and say, and I am not Kevin Durant's biggest fan, how are we going to pretend his legacy is at stake?
Because his legacy is at stake.
How?
Right. Because right now there's no excuse on why Phoenix shouldn't win the ring.
Okay, sorry. Rob, to your point on that, Rob, if Chris Paul never wins a ring and plays 17, 18 years in the leagues, I think he's in year 16 right now, is he a first ballot Hall of Famer?
Without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So how is Chris Paul not winning a ring not going to hurt his legacy? But yet Durant's legacy is at stake right now. When Durant,
it's going. I'm not saying that KD still wouldn't be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
I think Chris Paul's legacy is a bigger hit than Durant.
Because KD is in a bigger conversation than Chris Paul is. Like when it comes to Chris Paul, nobody is even saying that he's the greatest point guard ever.
People have said he's the top 3 point guard all time.
when it comes to Kevin Durant, some people, not all, some people are still trying to put him in that one of the greatest ever conversations.
Before his career is over,
He's
Durant
not.
is going to be viewed as a top 5 player all time.
No,
Oh my
and then
God,
they're
you're
all
insane.
fools.
See, okay.
They're all
See,
fools.
Oh my
Whoever
God.
thinks
Dustin,
Kevin
I
Durant
was
is in the top
with you.
10 right now is a
Oh
fool.
No. Okay, hold on.
Maybe top 5 scorer of all time.
Rob, hold on, Rob. You can't disrespect KD and then deep throat the fact that you got Steph in your top 10. So that comment right there just
Steph won the ring before KD and after KD.
It's the same Stephanie who cried at Kevin Durant.
But he won the ring after KD.
It's the same Stephen Curry that tried to get Kevin Durant back last year.
And got finals MVP.
It's
2-time MVP, one-time unanimous. What is KD the greatest of? Nothing. Steph Curry's the greatest shooter of all time, right?
Okay, Kevin Durant.
Now that I think about it, right?
Where is this slander coming from?
Rob, Kevin Durant might be
like a month ago.
Kevin Durant might be the best pure scorer in NBA history. In
He
terms
might
of he can do whatever he wants on the court if he actually tried. Because he can shoot threes better than 80% of the league.
Why don't he try winning the ring without Steph Curry?
You know what happened? Pride, you know what happened? I helped Rob Scott open his eyes and view KD for what he really is. That's what really happened.
I was lost, and then I talked with Frankie, and then now I'm found.
Yeah, okay. How you talk with Frankie is still lost? Look, man, I don't get how this slander is coming. I don't know where this slander is coming from. I am not the biggest KD fan at all.
Oh God!
Listen, I think
Rob, can you
Pride, I missed you with Dustin, man. I really have missed you,
Rob,
guys.
can you do that laugh again? Because I want to record that and bring it with me to the Haunted Mansion in Disney World.
You know what? I only can do it when it's pure laughter. Make me laugh again. Call KD one of the greatest ever.
KD's the GOAT.
No, but Dustin, I was with you until I wasn't with you, my boy. But look,
I wanted to laugh again, damn
it! But Rob, Kevin Durant really is one of the greatest players of all time. No, I'm not going to say he's the top 10.
Scores.
No. Don't do that. Don't do that.
No, I'm doing it, Pride.
But how?
I'm doing it. He sucks. He sucks worse than Connecticut does.
That's crazy. That's absurd. Now we blasphemous. Now we just talking. Now we just saying anything, right? But I mean, and again, I'm not the biggest Kevin Durant fan in the world. But we're talking about an all-star. We are talking about a guy who literally makes teams a championship team. The only outlier.
No, he doesn't.
Hold on. Time out. Hold on. I'm about to.
Are we talking about Kevin Durant or LeBron James?
No, we're talking about Kevin Durant.
Because last time I checked, LeBron is the only player I know right now that when he goes to a team, they almost guarantee the final spot.
Okay, I understand that, but I'm talking outside of LeBron, Ramon James. God,
I don't know.
Yo, Freddie. I'll call you Freddie. I'm a goofball. My fault. But Rob, when you talk good about LeBron, no, it's because he got me messed up. He talking.
I got him flustered. I got him flustered.
Because I'm waiting for him to give me a backhanded compliment on LeBron.
I was not. LeBron.
I'm sweating.
LeBron is. Hey, you know, all hail the third best player to ever play.
Yo, do me a favor. Yo, Rob, one time, just say let go. Just say let go one time. Just one time.
Hold on.
Just say love. But listen, outside of the entire Brooklyn Nets tenure, every team he's been to, he's made them a legitimate contender or overwhelming. OKC's entire tenure, they were a championship team. Right or wrong? They were always in the mix.
Well, you can't say championship team if you don't win the championship.
If you're in the NBA Finals, though, you're a championship caliber team. Somebody has to win.
Hold on. What's the other word you just said? Caliber.
Fine. Contender. Fine. Well, a championship caliber team, it's the same thing as a championship contender.
It's not the same thing as a championship team, though.
Okay, Rob, what you just said, though?
Same thing.
What you just said, though, the Lakers are a championship contending team if everybody is healthy on that roster.
Yeah.
But they're not a championship caliber team, which means there's a difference between contender and caliber. Any one of these teams that are in the playoffs right now are considered championship contending teams because they're in the playoffs.
Yeah, okay.
But
Well,
there's
then.
realistically only 2 or 3 teams in each conference
Thank you.
that are championship caliber teams.
Caliber teams, yes.
Well,
They're
it
the
doesn't
cream
look
of the
like
crop. They're
it
up there.
doesn't. It doesn't look like Phoenix gonna get out of the first round.
Which is why they're a
Wow.
contender and not a caliber team.
This is insane.
That's what I'm saying.
This is insane.
Thank you, Dustin.
You guys
I'm
are
looking again.
wild.
Okay, Frankie, you hate him. I don't know what the hate is, man.
Bro,
I
because
don't know
you guys
what it
don't
is.
see
We
it.
gotta sit down and
You
talk
guys
about
don't
it, man.
see
This
it.
hate is weird.
Since leaving Golden State, the man has not gotten out of the first round.
Well, now he got to the second
Golden
round
State.
in Brooklyn.
He got to the second round. What are you talking about? He got to the second round with Brooklyn.
By who?
When he
He
lost to the
swept.
Bucks.
When he lost
He
to
got
the Bucks
swept.
by like 2
He
centimeters.
single-handedly carried the Nets to 7.
He took the Nets. He took the Nets 7 games against Milwaukee without Irving,
By himself.
without
By
Joe
himself.
Harris, without Seth Curry, because Seth Curry wasn't there yet. Without Nick Claxton, he took the Nets 7 games basically by himself.
But the East was trash at that time too.
It was trash, but what you got to remember though, Rob,
the East was trash at that time.
Rob, you got to remember though, the Nets were down in that series 3-1. And Kevin Durant won 2 games in a row on his own, and then pretty much won Game 7 on his own.
He didn't win Game 7. He
got it to overtime though.
But he lost.
He lost, but I'm just saying those last 3 games, being down 3-1, he single-handed carried Brooklyn to a Game 5 win, to a Game 6 win, and had Brooklyn 2 centimeters away from eliminating the Bucks in regulation in Game 7.
That's fine, but he lost. Like, can we stop giving out participation awards?
He didn't lose.
Whoa, Rob. Hold on, Rob. It's not giving him a participation award. Someone has to win and someone has to lose. If
he didn't lose. The Brooklyn Nets lost. Kevin Durant did everything he could to win that series. He didn't lose. The Nets lost.
Like we gotta stop that. We gotta stop.
Right, what are you talking about?
No, if the guy shows up and balls out of his mind,
the guy averaged 43.4 points per game the final 4 games of that playoff series. He didn't lose.
We're gonna pretend it was him. We're gonna pretend Kevin Durant came out here and he played like he did when he played against Boston for the first round. Let's pretend that's what he did the entire Milwaukee series. Let's pretend that's what he did.
We don't need to pretend because it happened.
not against Milwaukee. Yo, Chris, it's just a hatred. It's a deep-seated hatred. And I want to sit down with Frankie and figure out the origin. I got to figure out the origin.
To be a Boston Celtics fan, you guys humiliated and embarrassed the shit out of Kevin Durant. Excuse my language, because now I'm turned up. You embarrassed and humiliated this man.
Hold on, time out.
You embarrassed him so bad that he literally, before the season started, wanted to get a trade. Decided because Kyrie wanted to return to Brooklyn, so I'm going to stay around. Oh, Kyrie, he demanded a trade to Dallas? Bet. Let me go. I want to go.
Because where Kevin Durant is in his career right now, he's where every other old head is. Why do I need to carry it? My man, he literally had he had a taste of it, the Milwaukee series, and said, "Hold on, I'm not young like that no more."
Yeah, he doesn't want to be on it. He doesn't want to be on a rebuilding team at 35 years old.
I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear that shit.
Oh my God, we making excuses for Kevin Durant?
Exactly.
Are we really doing that?
It's the truth, though.
Are we really doing that?
No, it's
any
not.
athlete, whether
Because
it's in the
when LeBron-
NFL, the
Justin,
NBA,
I'm not gonna lie.
MLB, NHL,
God.
at 35 years old, will not want to be part of a rebuilding team.
Oh my
Why do you think
God.
Aaron Rodgers wants out of Green Bay?
I'm not
doesn't want to
saying
be part of a
that
rebuilding
you're
team.
not right, Dustin.
No.
I'm not saying that you're not right. I'm not saying that he doesn't want to be part of a rebuilding team, but KD doesn't want leadership at all, whether it's a team that has it all. He's not the leader of Phoenix. He wasn't the leader of Golden State.
No,
and
he wasn't. He was the leader of Oklahoma City.
He wasn't the leader of Brooklyn.
He was the leader of Oklahoma City. That's when he was the leader, the first 5-6 years of his career.
Maybe the first couple of years before Westbrook got there.
Yeah, well, and Westbrook's only a year younger.
Once Westbrook got there, Westbrook became the leader of the team.
Westbrook's only a year younger than Durant.
Hold on.
You talking about when he was back in Seattle Supersonics? Please.
No, he was the leader of Oklahoma City.
Hey, you know what, Pride? I will say this: if LeBron acted the way that KD acted, they would kill him for it. They would kill him for it.
Hold on, time out. Here's the difference, though.
And you're defending this bum.
How am I defending him? I'm telling you what happened.
It ain't happened what you said.
Dustin, you ready to hear the funny part? You want to know how I got robbed? You want to know how I got
that point. Chris, pin
You
that point
ready?
because Rob just called him a bum.
You ready? You ready? How I got him, Dustin? You want to know how I got him?
How you
Dustin,
get?
he refuses to talk about the points we're talking about. He's going back to. He's saying Kevin Durant's not a leader. I want someone to do me a favor. Run the tape back, and I want you to find any point that anybody on this panel said Kevin Durant was a leader. Please run the tape back. Oh wait, you don't got to run the tape because I can tell you that no one ever said that.
Robin, what you just said about LeBron James, if LeBron James was doing what Durant did, people would crucify him. They did frickin' crucify LeBron James. When he left Cleveland for Miami the way he did, they crucified him. When he went back to Cleveland, then left Cleveland for Los Angeles, they crucified him for what he did.
And listen, if you want to criticize
LeBron
him,
led his teams. That's all I know.
Okay, he did lead his teams. He did lead his teams. But how many times did he lead Cleveland to the finals?
Hey, that's not what I'm talking. That's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm talking about. We'll bring that up. We'll bring that up when we're talking about the GOATs, and that's a conversation, KD, and that should be a conversation that Kevin Durant is far away from.
And I'm listen, Rob. I'm with you there. I'm not saying he's a top 10 player all time. I'm with you there, but to pretend that in the Hall of Fame stratosphere, he's in the bum tier of Hall of Famers, that's absurd. Because again, I understand what you're saying. He's not a leader, and I'm never gonna ever in my entire life try to pretend, convince, or tell anyone that he's a leader. I ain't finna say that at all, not in the slightest. You know who else ain't a leader? Kawhi, and we've been deep throwing him ever since my man came out of San Diego.
He was a leader in Toronto.
Here.
He was a leader in Toronto.
Smoking Earth, that was Kyle Lowry. Baby.
No, it was Kawhi. It was Kawhi. It was Kawhi.
He said one line that everyone loved. When Nick Nurse said, "Oh, we got to win one," he said, "No, we're gonna get both of them." That's the only thing my man said his entire tenure.
He said both of them. Then he said, then you know what else he said? He said,
I kid you not, like you know how everyone's just to ASMR. Like I put my AirPods in. I put Kawhi's laugh on repeat. I just put that joint on repeat, and I'm just like I got a whole playlist just.
It's so wrong with you.
Every day, and it's Kawhi Leonard's laugh, bro.
Dude, you done defended KD so much, you losing your voice. Lord Jesus.
No, I am losing my voice, but this is just my thing, bro. There are certain times where you can kill a superstar. For example, if you want to kill Kevin Durant for the Boston Celtics series, you got it. Slaughter him, kill him. I'm with it. He deserves that slander. I'm with it 110%.
Of course,
but there are other series where my man has literally been, yes, I'm going to say my man, all right? The only way I'll ever call him my man is if he's not in a Boston Celtics uniform. Because the day he becomes a Celtic, I might have to switch teams. I might have to because I love him, but I can't have him over here. But my man, I know
Boston look like they about to sweep right now. What is Kevin Durant doing? Oh, getting beat.
I mean, but,
letting Russell Westbrook stick him in the post. Letting Russell Westbrook get blocked. Steal from behind.
For one, Rob, do you remember a few years ago when Alex Caruso was guarding LeBron James in the paint and shut LeBron James down?
Yo, chill out.
Hey,
it's the same thing as Russell Westbrook guarding Kevin Durant.
All I'm saying is LeBron done been to the finals more times than some franchises had.
I get that, but you can't act like Russell.
I can give LeBron. Yeah, he's a bum defender. Russell Westbrook and defense have never been in the same sentence.
Stop lying. Because when he first came in the league, he made his name on defense.
Yeah.
And this year before he got traded, he was the Lakers' best defensive player.
Settle down. How long was that when he first got into the league, Brad?
It was a long time ago in a galaxy far away.
Before
he got cut, he was actually playing pretty solid defense on the league this year. Before he got cut,
he had to do something to keep his name out of the news.
Okay, so don't say he never played.
But he wasn't the best defender on the Lakers. It was Anthony Davis.
It wasn't even Anthony Davis. It was Austin Reeves. Get it right.
The eight times he played. Come on. Yo, Rob got me defending Russell Westbrook. I can't with this man. You got me defending Russ. It's crazy. What a time, bro. It's crazy. All I'm saying, bro, we gotta chill out on this Kevin Durant.
No,
ain't that great foolishness. We gotta stop that.
No.
Okay. Everyone not named Frankie, because Frankie will die on this hill.
Okay, I'll say it like this, to make everybody happy. He's great. He might not be great, but he's great.
Yeah,
I'll take
he's
that.
so great.
I'll take that.
This is how great he
Oh,
is.
here it comes.
This is how great he is.
Fuck me.
Yeah, that's how great he
Check
is.
that out.
Bum, bozo.
I knew it. I knew it.
Yeah.
But Rob, how about this? Agree? He's a top 50 player all time.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Nope,
All right.
not even.
Okay. Oh my
I
God.
agree.
Let me
He
guess.
top
The
20.
corner
He top 15 all time.
Okay.
Yeah,
Honestly, I have him around between. I have him between 10 and 16.
I got him at like
I got
14.
him. I got him between 100 and 150.
Yo,
Yeah.
Frankie just. Rob. I need
Now
to find
Frankie,
this
that's
hatred.
disrespectful.
Yo, I need to figure out the hatred, bro. Like, me
Oh,
and Frankie,
shit.
we gotta sit down and have a conversation.
Yo, Chris, what
Oh,
happened?
look at that guy! Look at that
What
fly guy!
Thought made me spit my drink everywhere.
I will say this though, for all the knock that Kevin Durant has
I'll be right
gotten,
back.
the guy still has a 105 and 60 career record in the playoffs.
Oh my God, what a guy! What a guy!
That's
What
a
guy.
six. That's a
Now,
six.
is that- is that-
That's like a 632 winning percentage.
Yeah,
That's all
now.
time.
Oh God.
Hey, I said he great. He just not, he's not my cup of tea.
He has
Can I say that?
he has a higher winning percentage in the playoffs than LeBron James does.
Whoa, chill out.
He don't have more
He
rings.
doesn't have more rings, but LeBron James also has the
He
most
doesn't-
NBA Finals
he-
losses too.
Dustin.
Yeah, guess what? He don't even have as many appearances.
Dustin, your quarterback is Kirk Cousins. Relax.
I think LeBron has went to the. I think LeBron has won just as many finals as Kevin Durant been to.
That's
Hold
fine.
up.
He's also got the most
Hold
finals
up.
losses in NBA
Probably
history.
don't
like that.
Pride, don't do that, Pride. Don't do
Word
that.
like that.
Don't go to Dustin and be
Word
like your
like that.
quarterback's Kirk Cousins, because when the season comes, you over there like, oh, Kirk Cousins. Don't be putting slander on Kirk Cousins' name.
Oh, 100%.
Don't do that.
No, but you want hold on. But I'm gonna tell you the difference. I'm gonna tell you why I can do that. Because I defend him so vehemently, I'm allowed to slander her occasionally. Same thing with LeBron.
You defend all of the low trodden quarterbacks. You talking about Tua Tagovailoa, Tannehill.
Wait a minute, Rob. I gotta stop you. Tua's got it. Pride, hold on, Pride. Tua's got a new name.
No, real quick, Dustin. We don't talk about that Ryan Tannehill take no more. No, we don't do that around these.
Tua's got a new name. It's no longer Tua Tagovailoa.
What's his name?
Tua's new name is Tua Tagovailoa.
Oh Lord!
Oh my
Jesus.
God! How long did it take you to come up with that? Come on, bro.
20 minutes.
Come on, bro. Jay Cutler clears your franchise, bro. Get out of here. Boom. You trying to convince me Christian Ponder was a franchise quarterback. Boom.
Hey, that was the dumbest graphic Minnesota ever made was Christian Ponder.
Yo, and then the funniest thing about it is like they knew it was a dumb decision and they tripled down. They were like,
they knew it was a dumb decision. This was their thought process. We just had Adrian Peterson win the MVP with his legs. Let me ponder the future of this franchise. Christian Ponder it is.
I swear to God, that's real powerful.
I only got one more thought before I leave you fine gentlemen today.
Go ahead.
Clippers in 5.
Dang.
Clippers in 5.
I can't remember what bum. Wow. I mean, personally, I don't even think it has anything to do with KD.
You said Clippers in 7.
I think I got. I know it said 7. Did I say Clippers in 7?
You said Clippers in 7. You were getting shit by what's his name, Chris Robinson.
I mean, me personally, I honestly think that Paul George not being there is the biggest blessing for the Clippers, bro. Swear to God, I think it's the biggest blessing. And I'm not even joking when I say that either. I'm being so serious.
Westbrook wanted all that smoke.
Yeah, she was 3 for 19. What a guy!
He looked at KD and said, "You think I forgot?"
Listen, all I'm saying is,
cupcake.
If KD gets eliminated again in the first round to the Clippers this time, he
drops down to 20.
I swear, 20. He gonna drop down to 200.
I mean, hold on. If they get eliminated,
talking about going back to like the 40s. All right, I'm talking about the 20s, the 1920 white boys high water shorts are better than.
Wow. He said back in the day I was doing granny shots. Wow.
Hey, no lie though. If he loses in the first round, that's not.
No, because for me, listen, I guess I have to be the only logical one up in here. It depends on how he loses. If my man goes out how he did like in Boston, Kevin Durant got to retire.
I can tell. No,
That-
I don't think.
If
I don't
he
think
goes out
Kevin
like
Durant
that-
retires. I think if they lose this first round, I think Ayton's done in Phoenix.
I think Aiden's
Why
better.
you? Why is it with you and Aiden?
Because
Because
Aiden's
they
a
never should
bum
have
too.
re-signed him in the first place.
He's
No,
a
he's not.
All summer long,
he's
you
a
heard the rumor
bum.
that the Bulls were going to extend Nikola
I
Vucevic
was
and do a
too
sign and
too
trade
bad.
with Vucevic for DeAndre Ayton. That's what I
I'm
think is going
glad
to
they
end up
did.
happening next offseason. I think the Bulls are going to re-sign Vucevic, and then they're going to trade him over to Phoenix for Ayton.
I honestly,
And
I remember
what you guys are saying. I totally understand what you guys are saying, and I understand Rob calling him and bum and shit. But listen, you traded away 4 first-round draft picks for KD, Kevin Durant, the quote-unquote greatest shooter. Okay,
score.
he's gonna get all the slander. He's gonna make it past the first round.
Well, like I said,
Kevin Durant,
Mhm.
he's a bum. Bottom 100. Hall of Famer, my ass.
Yeah, look. If he goes out how he did in Boston, looking like a bum, then we can go ahead and we can slander Kevin Durant till Kingdom Come. We can slander him, no problem. But if my man is shooting like 51% from the floor,
If he's scoring 40
averaging
points a game and shooting
35,
50, if he's scoring 40 points a game and shooting 50% from the floor and Phoenix still loses, you can't put
I'm
that
not
on.
blaming KD. I'm
can't
not
put
blaming
that
Oh my
KD.
God.
If he's playing like a superstar, and I'm talking a superstar, I don't mean a guy who's just giving me an efficient 25 and just look like he coasted. No, if he's hooping like the Kevin Durant, everyone here, including you, Frankie,
Hell
knows
no.
he can hoop.
Don't put me in that.
I'm putting you in it, Frankie. I'm putting you in it. If he hoops like that, Kevin Durant, we know, I'm not gonna blame him. But if he looks like he's just coasting, or he looks how he looked in Boston, then y'all can go ahead and slander him, and I won't defend him.
I'm gonna slander him if he scores 50. I don't care. You score 50 and you still lose. That's full slander right there. I don't care.
But someone's gotta lose though.
No. It's gonna be the Suns.
Is that the same thing with Donovan Mitchell? Donovan Mitchell went bonkers and they lost. Are we gonna blame Donovan Mitchell?
Yes,
Hell yeah, we gonna blame
How?
Donovan Mitchell.
How?
because it seems like Mitchell can't get the job done.
Can't get the job done. Did you watch the game?
Mitchell's the sole reason why Cleveland's
I recall Mitchell and Jamal Murray going crazy against each other in the bubble, and Jamal Murray won that series. I recall seeing Mitchell go crazy before in the playoffs, yet Utah was always the laughing stock of the playoffs for the last couple of years. And I just saw them lost game 1 against the New York Knicks, and Jalen Brunson gave them the business. Need I continue?
Yes, you need to continue because everything you're saying doesn't make sense on why you're blaming Donovan Mitchell.
I'm not going to say I blame Donovan Mitchell, but Donovan Mitchell's not that guy.
Dustin, please repeat what you just said.
Donovan Mitchell's the reason why Cleveland's a top 4 seed.
You're insane. You're insane.
No.
Cleveland was I gotta go.
This young core
I
team
gotta
was
go.
dominant last year.
Be safe, Rob.
They were still
no pride. Connecticut still sucks.
Seed last year.
Yeah, Chicago not even in the playoffs. Slick me.
I know. We're so trash.
Cleveland was still a number 7 seed.
All right, my brothers, man. Y'all be cool. Brian McLovin, congratulations on your new home, brother.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
And Dustin, that was their first year together learning, and they were.
Bye, Dustin. I miss hearing those beautiful stats.
Later, Rob.
Bye, Frankie. Go Lakers.
Facts. Yeah.
Yeah, and bye, Gonzo. I'll be seeing you soon, my brother.
That was wild.
Later, Rob.
But go ahead, Frankie. Go ahead. He was about to go on a tirade. Go ahead.
That sounded a little sexual. I apologize, but Chris, you better watch out. Lock your doors, close your shades. Don't even go live anymore. But anyway, Dustin, that was their first year together, and they were in the 7th seed. Now you have them a year later without Donovan Mitchell, still playing the way they were. I feel like they would have still been the 4th seed.
Donovan Mitchell's a better player than Colin Sexton.
Not even close. Not even close. And I like Colin Sexton. But it's not even close.
You think Sexton's better than Mitchell?
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying
I said Donovan Mitchell's a better player than Sexton.
And you're absolutely right. You're absolutely
Yeah, that's
right.
why they were a
But
7 seed last year with Sexton running the point. Now they brought in Mitchell. Basically, they traded Sexton to Utah for Mitchell. Lauri Markkanen came over in the deal too, but Cleveland also ended up giving Utah other pieces. Oh no, Markkanen went to Utah also. So yeah, they had Lauri Markkanen on their team last year also, who played probably some of his best basketball of his career last year in Cleveland up until he got to Utah this year. And now you send Sexton and Markkanen from last year's number 7 seed to Utah in exchange for basically Donovan Mitchell, and now you're a 4 seed. Mitchell is the reason why they're a 4 seed, because they literally gave up 2 starters for 1. And they have a better record and a better seed with it.
Easily.
yeah, you know what? Phoenix,
You guys
Phoenix
think the
gave up-
Cavs beat the Knicks?
Yeah,
I think so.
I think the Cavs beat the Knicks in 5.
I think they beat them as well.
I think I put Cavs down in 6. I think I put.
And you got to remember, there was a point this year where Donovan Mitchell was in the MVP conversation too.
No, we can't talk about that.
I'm just saying though, like,
No, we can't talk about that because that'll kind of make people, have to understand Donovan Mitchell is him.
Donovan Mitchell is the reason why Cleveland's where they are. It has nothing to do with the team being young last year and being together for 1 year, because they still lost 40% of their starting lineup from last year. Markkanen and Sexton both left.
Okay. So then you agree then the loss should be on Donovan Mitchell.
No.
He just said.
He's the reason why Cleveland's in the position
he just said.
No. Don't try that. Don't do that.
No. You're trying it badly. He's saying last year they were the 7th seed. This year they're the 4th. He said that's why. No, you didn't.
We had that moment, and I agree to it, and I understand his point.
No,
but then he went. He said that Cleveland is where they at now because of Donovan Mitchell. So can you agree that they lost because of Donovan Mitchell, since they are where they are?
No, if they lose in the first round, I'm going to put the loss more so on JB Bickerstaff.
No, Frankie, I'm explaining to you because it's simple.
Crazy.
This is simple. I'm looking at how he played. If the man came out here and as the best player on the team, as the primary ball handler, was shooting, let's say he shot 5 for 20. And he didn't crash the board. Let's say he ended up with 2 rebounds, 3 assists, and 5 turnovers. And they lost. Yes, put that on Donovan Mitchell because he played horribly. If the man is balling like a superstar, which he was, and they lose, someone's got to lose. I'm not going to go to Donovan Mitchell and be like, yeah, Donovan Mitchell, you gave me an efficient 30. You're a bum. The hell?
Ultimately, in the playoffs, it comes down to who has more experience. And if you look at the coaches in this series, you have JB Bickerstaff and Tom Thibodeau. Thibodeau has way more playoff experience than JB Bickerstaff has. So if Cleveland loses, and like Pride said, if Mitchell plays well, I'm putting the loss on Bickerstaff more so than anything because he's a young coach who doesn't know how to adjust in the playoffs yet.
That's crazy.
Okay, Frankie, explain how it's crazy. I want to hear
to blame. You just love to blame coaches. Dustin just loves to blame coaches.
I want to see how the series plays out before I blame anybody. Because, listen, if Donovan Mitchell had this great game, but the Cavs lose in 5, and it's because Donovan Mitchell sells games 2 through 5, then I'm going to blame Donovan Mitchell. I'm going to look at him and be like, come on, bro, you got to step up. It's the same thing with Julius Randle a couple years ago when the Knicks first came back to the playoffs. He was great in the regular season. He sold out in the playoffs. And who was to blame? Him, because Julius Randle was the one who was selling. That's it.
I guess we'll have to wait and see.
That's what I'm saying. Just like this game right here, you're saying it's Donovan Mitchell's fault. Explain how it's Donovan Mitchell's fault. I want to hear the explanation. What adjustments should Donovan Mitchell have made so that way they wouldn't have lost? I would like to hear your explanation. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
The other problem with the biggest problem with Cleveland was the rest of the players.
That's what I'm saying.
There was only one other player that had 20 points on that team.
Which I thought Darius Garland was going to step up and actually give
he had 20. He had 20. Nobody else had 20 points besides Mitchell with 42.
Pride and Frankie, now that I have you here, I got to ask you guys a question.
Oh, God.
Since you guys are Patriot fans.
Go ahead.
What do you think of Jawan Williams?
I'm being Frankie. He's a bum. He's a bum. He's been a bum since he came out the womb. He's never been good.
I got to a point where you said his name, and I'm over here thinking, who? That's how like that.
Well, he was a second round. He was a second round pick by the Patriots in 2019, and he missed all of this past season hurt.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'll be honest. I thought last year would have been his opportunity because, like, at corner we did kind of need more people. So, I mean, he could have potentially stepped up. I just don't know because my thing really comes down to whether or not he can stay healthy. If he can, I'm willing to give him an opportunity because I do like the kid. He's a very good athlete. I really do like the kid, but the reality of the situation is, eventually, if I can't see you, if in 2 NFL seasons you're only giving me 4 games, your upside doesn't matter anymore because the likelihood of me seeing it is low now because I barely even have you on the court or on the field.
Yeah, he's played 36 regular season games with the Patriots.
Look, don't get it twisted. I like his anticipation.
I'm only asking because Minnesota signed him to a 1-year deal today. That's why I'm asking.
No, he's solid. He's solid. It's just you just really got to worry about injuries with him. That's all. Like I said, his anticipation is good. His IQ is solid. So if he sees a play breaking down, he knows where to go, right? So he does have a good sense of the game. If you develop him right, he could be like a number 2 guy, like a number 2 corner. But again, it really comes down on whether or not the guy can stay healthy. Because if he can't stay healthy, then everything I'm saying literally won't matter.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'm about to hop off because
Anthony has a question. Anthony has a question for me, huh?
Bro, I'm about to head out. I'll talk to y'all later. Bronze the GOAT. Fuck AD. I'm out.
Well, yeah, dude, the way you came into the world, head out first.
Anthony, to answer your question, I will pack Delvin Cook's suitcase and send him off on my way myself.
Wow. What time to be alive?
Delvin Cook is good, but he's no longer a top 10 running back because he can't stay healthy.
Well, I think that's the truth.
I'm not paying a running back $16-17 million a year to play 12 games. When we literally just re-signed Alexander Madison to a 2-year, $8 million deal, and Madison's more durable than Delvin Cook is.
And correct me if I'm wrong, I mean, his yards per carry kind of took a dip even when he was on the field.
They've been very consistent, though. He had the lowest total of his career this past year, but it was still 4.3 yards a carry, which is still good. Yeah. But back when he was really rushing the ball well, he was towards 4.7, 4.8.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's kind of
but a lot of that has to do with the offensive linemen that Minnesota brought in the last couple of years. They're more of a pass blocking group now as opposed to a run blocking group because they have Justin Jefferson, they have Kirk Cousins, and they knew they needed better offensive linemen that could pass protect better than run block. And Minnesota's offensive scheme has changed the last couple of years. They're no longer the run-first team they used to be when they had Teddy Bridgewater and Case Keenum and some of these other quarterbacks where you could turn around and give it to a guy like Cook 25, 30 times. Now they're a pass-first offense that just uses the running game to complement the passing game, and that's why I'm okay with Delvin Cook leaving because he doesn't fit in Minnesota's offense anymore the way he once did. He wants his 25, 30 touches a game, but the more touches you give Delvin Cook, that's the less opportunity that you're going to give Justin Jefferson. And Justin Jefferson's the best player on that team. You can't take touches away from him because your running back wants more touches. That's why Alexander Madison, I think, fits better in Minnesota because you can give him 15 to 20 carries. He might only get you 70, 75 yards rushing per game, but if you average 75 yards rushing per game, that's still a 1,000-yard season on the ground. you're not going to need him to give you 1,400 yards like Dalvin Cook gives you. He's just going to be the guy that balances out the pass and the run, and Madison's been very durable since they drafted him 4 years ago. And if you get like 3 or 4 draft picks for him, granted you might not get a first rounder, but you'd be able to get a second rounder, a couple thirds for him, and potentially you could probably get depending on who you traded him to, you could probably get a player for him also.
Can we just take a moment and just talk about how great the Astros season is starting?
I knew that was coming.
No, again, it is not started off well, but again, we were in last place when we started last year too. So I'm hoping we get the same result. And we don't have Altuve. Come on, man.
Do you think the loss of Justin Verlander is affecting him more than you thought it was going to, Jay?
Oh, that Verlander's not affecting us. That has nothing to do with this damn team. Honestly, it really doesn't, man. I got Hunter Brown right now.
I'm not talking about pitching. I'm not talking about his pitching. I'm talking about possibly his leadership being a veteran player. People never take that into account.
That group is so tight knit. That pitching lineup has plenty. They got plenty of leaders on that group.
You got to remember though, Justin Verlander was one of the few guys that he wasn't with that team in 2017 when they had the whole cheating scandal.
Right.
He was one of the few guys.
He was there. He was there.
He was one of the few guys that kept that team together though during all of that.
But I think that's what they got Brantley for. I mean, Brantley, if you watch last year's season.
Brantley wasn't part of that team though in 2017.
Oh, Brantley was. Not 2017. I'm talking about if you watch last year when we went to Philly and we were down. It was Brantley that took him into the locker room.
I'm talking 2017 when they went through the whole cheating thing. Verlander was like one of the few players on that team that took accountability for it. Even if he didn't have anything to do with it, he was one of the few players on that team.
What does that have to do with us righting our ship this year?
Because he was like the leader that kind of stepped up and took like the bullets for everybody else saying, we did it. It is what it is. Even if he had nothing to do with it, he still was a leader and stood up and said, we did it. We got caught for it. He kept the team together. He kept everybody kind of together, and so nobody panicked or anything like that. And just that veteran presence to keep everybody level-headed, I think it's a bigger loss.
But I think you're going to see that. When Altuve comes back into the lineup, Brantley
Altuve was the one that everyone wanted to crucify because when they tried to rip his jersey off, he wouldn't let him rip his jersey off.
So what the fuck do you want from me?
Well, to be real,
damn son, I done told you 3 ways from Sunday that we got more than just him as a leader. Now what the fuck do you want?
Well, to be real, Dustin.
How many more times I gotta tell you that Verlander ain't the only damn leader on that team? How many times you want me to say it? I only know one language, damn it. One.
And that's what I was gonna say, Jay. And that's what I was gonna say. Now that Verlander's gone, all that leadership is on Altuve's shoulder. Yes, he's hurt right now.
Well, no, not necessarily just him. Brantley will take some of that leadership. Bregman will take some of that leadership. I mean,
it's on both of them. It's on both of them. But since Altuve's not out there right now, and he's in the dugout with the cast on, he should have that leader awareness and presence when these guys are in the dugout as well.
But I think if Justin would have said, yo, man, now, okay, if Maldonado would have left, because you got to remember, who the hell is calling these games? It's Maldonado. Maldonado, if anybody has any kind of leadership or any kind of whatever, it's going to be Maldonado. I'm not saying that Justin Verlander didn't do, his part, but who's a pitcher's closest relationship to his catcher? So, do I think we missed some of what Verlander had? Sure. But look, Verlander's 39. Last time I checked, he's on the IL right now. So we had to move on from him. So, yeah, is there a little bit of course? But our ERA is still around mid-3s. We're doing okay. We just need Altuve to come back, put that little spark back into the lineup, and we need Brantley to come back, put his little spark.
Wait a minute. You told us that.
Hold on. Last time they asked me the question. Because last time I checked, our DH before Jukes came. Now Jukes is a young kid. He's 20, 21. But if you look at his batting average, it's around the mid-3s. So he's doing good. But I think when you get Brantley back in, that's going to help out on the long porches when we can't. Alvarez isn't so good there. So you got two big backs that are still to come into the lineup. Now, if you want to ask me what the real problem with the Astros is, it's probably players like Jake Myers. That's a big one. Hensley, when he doesn't hit, that's another big one. So if you want to put those two guys in there, that's perfectly fine. But again, Dusty's still there. The core of that leadership group is still there. And Hunter Brown is an emergence. And look at Dubon. You're not even looking at Dubon. This is a kid who last year was hitting under 3. Now he's hitting 356. So if you look at the Astros games too, we're losing it around the 7th inning. So if I had to say anything to Dusty, it would be, get our middle rotation in there a little bit sooner rather than later. That's where I think the real issue is.
I don't know. You had told me and Frankie that losing Altuve wasn't going to be no problem. You guys
and it still isn't a problem because last time I checked, I'm only a game and a half out of first. So you tell me where the problem is, sir. Where the Reds at?
Hey,
how far are you out?
Hey, we only our record's about the same as the Astros, so don't be acting like we're that bad.
Don't get mad at me. Oh man, but damn, Dustin, I didn't answer your question like 3 times, brother. How many times you gonna ask me the same thing over? You're like my wife. How many times I gotta answer? Take out the trash. Okay, I did. Did you take out the trash? Well, I took out the trash. Well, why is it trash? Well, did you look to see if the trash was out?
Son of a bitch. All right. Let's get the final thoughts.
Hell, I thought that was a final thought.
Oh, that was your final thought?
Other than, hey, make sure you tune in to Unscripted tomorrow at 7 and stuff like that. That's it. That's all I got.
Stat guy.
And it's good to be back.
Bryce Young has officially canceled the rest of his in-person meetings with teams after meeting with the Carolina Panthers yesterday. And now it looks like Carolina is going to be taking Bryce Young number 1.
Told you guys he was going number 1 overall. Everybody thought it was going to be C.J. Stroud.
I still say it's going to be Richardson.
Yeah, I think your Colts are going to get Richardson.
I think his Colts are going to get Will Levis.
I don't because I'm fucking pissed off right now. Don't even get me started on that topic. Minnesota's looking to trade into the first round to get Will Levis. I'm going to be fucking pissed.
Frankie Lake Show, what's your final thoughts?
Hey, my final thoughts. My final thoughts is I'm really excited because, tonight starts NHL hockey playoff time. Really important time for the NHL.
Who's your team?
Boston Bruins, bro.
Okay.
But hopefully, and nobody could say that I'm a freaking team switcher or anything like that. All right, because
I do want to say this. This is his first year to be a Bruins fan, and oddly enough, they're the number 1 team in the league.
Right? Like it couldn't be.
I'm just saying, man.
I'm only asking Frankie because you could have. Frankie, I'm only asking because you could have picked the Rangers or the Islanders, and I would have been like, okay,
he could have went with the Sabres.
Hell no. Listen.
But he went with the Boston Bruins.
Listen, I hate all New York teams except for the Yankees.
That is true. That is the one consistent thing about Frankie. He really does hate every damn team in New York with the exception of the Yankees.
But and Jay over there wiping his fucking nose. Jay, don't be doing that shit. It's just so having that I became a fan of a good team at a good time. I don't know. I know last year they made it to the playoffs and they lost in the first round or the second round. That's all.
Well, I'm about to say, technically, Frankie, you became a Boston Bruins fan last year when Unscripted decided to get into hockey, and we all had to pick our teams. And so, okay, I'll give you that.
Yeah, so it was a good time to be able to fully watch hockey. I can't wait to watch the playoffs this year, and let alone tonight. Bruins got tonight. Jay's team plays tonight as well, the Dallas Stars, and also our boy Logan Landers at the Carolina Hurricanes. His team also plays tonight as well. So we get some some playoffs in the NHL, and I'm really pissed because I thought I was gonna have a day to sit back and relax and just chill
Nope.
and not have to sit on the edge of my seat. Yeah, Jay jinxed me, and I guess tonight I got to sit on the edge of my seat again. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited to watch Game 2 of the Lakers tomorrow. Can't wait. I tell you this: if the Lakers do win Game 2 in Minnesota, Jay, I'm gonna need that broom, sir. I'm gonna need that broom that you had.
So they're gonna win. So they're gonna win Game 2 in Memphis and in Minnesota. That's a pretty impressive feat.
Or Memphis, my bad, Memphis. Memphis. Damn it, Dustin, shut up.
Hey, that guy,
What, Jay?
I was gonna say, do you have a hockey team?
I do, but my hockey team hasn't been relevant for like 6 years.
Oh. Like Gonzo's sex life.
I'll give you a clue. They made the playoffs for 27 straight years.
How do I get thrown into this?
Chicago Blackhawks.
No.
I'm messing with you. Gonzo, who's your hockey team?
Same area though, Frankie.
Wait, I thought you said you were a Minnesota fan.
No, I'm a Detroit fan for hockey.
All right, so you're Red Wings. And then Gonzo, who are you?
I really don't have one, but I took the Blue Jackets just because they were the closest to me.
That's not true. Detroit's closer than Columbus.
Don't do it, Chris. Chris, don't do it.
I'll stay with Columbus, even though they ain't no good.
Yeah, Detroit made the playoffs for 27 straight years. So, like, my entire life up until I was 28 years old, they made the playoffs, and now the last 6 years they've been shit.
Well, I can always send you a Dallas Stars application. You already got
I don't need a Dallas Stars application.
My dad's a Vegas fan.
Oh, he's a Vegas guy?
I'm rooting for a team in the playoffs this year, so that's all that matters.
He watches a lot of hockey. I don't watch much of. I need to start watching more of it.
I'm rooting for the Kraken.
Oh my God, get him out of here!
God.
You got to root for the new teams. Come on now. I rooted for the Vegas Golden Knights the year they made the playoffs and made the Stanley Cup final.
No. The hell
you should be rooting for Dallas because we're the team that moved out of Minnesota, which is close to where you were, and we moved down to Dallas. So come on.
He should root for the Bruins so he can see and witness a historic run.
I don't know, man, Frankie. Not to put a bad mojo on you, but just because you have the best record of the season doesn't mean you're going to stay that way. I'm just saying. Although the Colorado Avalanche last year, they did pull it out. So maybe this is your year, Frankie.
I will root for the Bruins if they make it to the conference finals.
But what if they? Okay, what if it hypothetically is Dallas Stars and the Bruins in the Stanley Cup? You better say Dallas Stars.
No, because Boston's in Detroit's division. I got to root for Boston because they're in Detroit's division. I'd rather have my team lose to the best team in the NHL.
But what if the Bruins played Dallas Stars in the finals? Who are you rooting for?
Bruins because they're in Detroit's division.
You're a fucking douchebag. I think that's what that team meant for. D is for douche.
Because
in Detroit's division, I gotta root for Detroit's own division.
Jay, he knows.
He can root for Detroit's division.
He knows if the Dallas Stars goes to the Stanley Cup to face the Bruins, he knows that the Bruins are gonna smoke you guys. He knows.
Hey, oh shit. Okay. You know what? I hope they do make it to the damn finals. And Frankie, I hope you make it there too. Because we need a Frankie J round 2. By the way,
that's round 1 for hockey. It's round 1.
But my final thoughts are: if you missed our wrestling show Saturday night, All American Championship Wrestling, go check it out. It was a good show. And then also join us tonight 6:30 for GWR. Forget what we're talking about tonight. Oh, we're talking about favorite storylines in wrestling and best wrestling minds. Join us tonight at 6:30 for that. Be live here in a few minutes with Easy Money, a sports betting show. And then also tonight, 11 p.m. Eastern, have GSR Gonzo Sports Room. We'll be back tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern, with another episode of the ASAP Afternoon Blitz. And
hey, Jay, your playoff matchup tonight, who's the better Minnesota team, the Minnesota North Stars or the Minnesota Wild?
Well, the only team I got is the Stars. I mean, Texas don't have any other damn hockey team, so I'm going to say the Stars, you son of a bitch.
You have other hockey teams in Texas. You just got to find them.
I live in the South. Do you know how many hockey rinks there are in the South?
A lot.
There's obviously a lot.
There's a lot. No,
There's like 7.
Okay, 2 hands, motherfucker. Shit.
Come on, Jay.
Hey, look, you're not gonna find a homegrown hockey athlete in the state of Texas. It don't happen.
Leave them alone.
Not unless they move out of Texas and go somewhere else and live, and then come back.
Listen, Stat Guy, when you talk to Jay about hockey, it's kind of like talking to Rob Scott about baseball. You got to leave him alone.
So I'm just about to crucify you right now, Jay. You're trying to tell me that there are no Texas homegrown hockey players. What about Seth Jones of the Chicago Blackhawks, who was born?
Fuck this guy. Get us out of here, please.
Oh my goodness.
Seth Jones was born in Arlington, Texas, plays for the Blackhawks. Blake Coleman, a three-time Stanley Cup winner, was born in Plano, Texas. Tyler Myers, born in Houston, Texas. Brian Leach, born in Corpus Christi, Texas. All those guys have multiple Stanley Cup rings. You're trying to tell me there's no homegrown Texas players in the NHL that are successful?
You said where they were born. You didn't say where they were raised.
They lived in Texas their entire life. Hey. Seth Jones went to high school in Texas, for God's sakes.
Well, where do you think? Look,
hey, all I know, Chris.
Hold on. You talking to somebody from the state of Texas? I promise you. How many hockey rinks do you think they were practicing at? There ain't no damn teams. Ain't no high school down here got a team. So they may be from Houston, but they were
probably practicing where the Texas. They were probably practicing where the Texas Stars play, which is the minor league team down there. They have 3 hockey rinks where the Texas Stars facility is. One of them is used for the minor leagues, one of them is used for high school, and one of them is used for practice and tournaments.
All I know is that this is the first sport where Jay can't say, this man is from Houston. This man is from Houston. And what's so funny is he just said that. He literally just said that, right? And then Dustin goes off on a list. Not one person he named was from Houston, Texas. He goes, Corpus Christi, all these other places, not one from Houston.
We don't play that shit.
Seth Jones was the highest drafted Texas-born player ever in 2013.
If that goes to show you anything, Texas is the best. Because we can send somebody who's never played a damn league.
And Blake Coleman.
Have you been to Texas? It's hot as shit. We can't
Blake Coleman is the only one that is And Blake Coleman is the only homegrown Texas player with multiple Stanley Cups.
So what you're telling me is even Texas dominates in a sport that they don't even play in their own state. How badass is that? Get us the hell out of here.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you guys tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern, for another episode of the ASAP Afternoon Blitz.
That's how you win the show.